each moving in turn until it finally stood still. It looked no different from before. You modified so much code and managed to compile it successfully in one go. You really are a programming expert. Jia Xiaowei comforted Zheng Fan. 1. Move forward. Zheng Fan commanded. Yes, moving forward. The robot's response time seemed to be quicker than before. Unlike the previous attempt, this time the robot walked forward without hesitation, swinging its arms back and forth like an ordinary person. Initially, it moved slowly and leaned a few times, nearly falling, but surprisingly managed to regain balance by swinging its arms, and then it became more stable as it walked. The laboratory was quickly coming to an end, and just as Jia Xiaowei was about to call for a stop to prevent it from hitting the wall, the robot stopped by itself at the wall. Cannot proceed. Already stopped. Incredible. It can balance itself and recognize walls automatically, stopping on its own. Jia Xiaowei exclaimed excitedly. Chapter 18. A real eye-opener. What surprised Jia Xiaowei even more was yet to come. 1. Test a somersault. Zheng Fan commanded. Yes. Testing somersault. The robot slowly raised its arms, pushed off with its legs, and executed a backflip, landing slightly sideways but quickly regaining its balance. Then it performed several consecutive backflips, becoming more fluid and stable. It flipped back to the original standing position and then executed front flips, one after another, until it reached the wall. It turned and did a side flip, then continued to flip back. The metal skeleton robot weighed nearly 100 kilograms. Yet at this moment it was as light as a gymnast. The initial flips made a thudding sound, but later it was able to control its landing force automatically. Test completed. The robot returned to its starting position. Director Dong, do you have a wider area to test its other capabilities? Zheng Fan asked. There is a basketball court in the small garden behind the building. Would that work? Dong Lei pondered before responding. The basketball court should be large enough. But the question is whether the robot can handle exposure there. Indeed, it's very exciting. With the level demonstrated now, it's enough to make waves globally. Our experimental robot, although rare, technically can be imitated without much difficulty. What is truly unique is your intelligent program. Are you ready for exposure? Dong Lei asked in return. Shixuan, who had not spoken until now, asked, Fan, have you applied for a patent or copyright for the algorithm and design of this intelligent program? No. It's just an experimental work. I only discovered yesterday that it could do other things, so I came to test it out. I don't think it's necessary to overthink it. The source code can't be exposed anyway. I'm somewhat confident in this regard. Even if others get their hands on the source code, they won't be able to use it. Its generation process has a high degree of randomness. It's not something that can just be copied and used. As long as your robots aren't afraid of exposure, I'm fine with it. Fan said. Dong Lei certainly had no issues either. If it weren't for the fear of embarrassment, they would have proactively exposed it themselves. Jia Xiaowei was also preparing to pack the robot and transport it to the basketball court. Fan directly instructed the robot to follow, and within minutes, they had descended to the basketball court. Although the area was a well-known high-tech development zone, it was still rare to see a robot moving freely like a human. They quickly caught up with a dozen curious onlookers, some of whom were recording videos on their phones. Dong Lei, of course, wouldn't miss such a promotional opportunity. He had already instructed the team to film the entire process back in the lab. Upon arriving at the basketball court, the players who had been playing stopped and willingly cleared the area to watch, intrigued. Robot 1. Test the back-and-forth run with the basketball court as the boundary, Fan commanded. Yes. Test the back-and-forth run with the basketball court as the boundary. The robot began to run, reaching the opposite boundary of the court, stopping, turning around, running back, stopping again, and turning to run back. With the earlier experience of doing flips and walking over, the robot's automatic balancing ability was no longer an issue. Fan borrowed a basketball and shouted, Robot 1, catch the ball, before throwing it over. The robot, while running, stopped, turned its head to aim at the basketball, extended its hand to catch it, but missed. The ball hit the robot's head and bounced off, causing the crowd to erupt in laughter. However, more and more people started recording. Robot 1, pick up the ball, throw it back. The robot chased after the basketball, extended its hands, bent down to pick it up, but failed. It tried again, extending its hands, bending down, and again failed. On the third attempt, it managed to pick it up, but as it was getting up, the ball fell again. On the fourth attempt, it picked it up and threw it, but the force was weak, only sending it a meter away. Finally, on the fifth try, it picked it up and barely threw it in front of Fan. The surrounding crowd erupted in applause. After several rounds of passing and catching, as long as the throw wasn't too far off, the robot had 0 errors in catching the ball, and its throws became increasingly accurate. After a few attempts at shooting from fixed points, it could hit the target without missing more than 3 times from the same spot, showing precision and stability far surpassing that of a human. This robot truly had a strong build, able to accurately shoot from across the basketball court. The people around began to cheer and wanted to try teaming up with the robot for a match, but unfortunately, the battery was running low, and they had to end the test. This was the only testing robot, and it had not been able to solve the problem of walking normally. So no spare batteries were prepared. They could only plug it in to charge and wait slowly. After less than half an hour of public testing, the footage was uploaded online and quickly caused a huge sensation. It is known that the most advanced technology in the world is recognized to be from a certain country's Boston Dynamics, whose robots are hydraulically powered. And the technological approach is different, obviously ruling out the possibility of imitation. The capabilities demonstrated by this robot, both in balance and intelligence, have already surpassed theirs. Professionals were particularly amazed by the robot's learning ability. It became proficient in simple actions like picking up and passing a ball in just a few attempts. This truly showcased the level of intelligence of the robot. Not long after the charging began, everyone's phones started ringing, all inquiring about the robot. Although they were prepared for exposure, no one expected the impact to be this significant. Dong Lei's mentor, an authority in the field of artificial intelligence in the country, Academician Zhang from the Chinese Academy of Sciences, also called to learn more about the situation. This really reached a wide audience. It was time to pack up and test elsewhere. After finishing the call, Dong Lei excitedly told the others. After leaving their company, they drove eastward for a short distance before heading north, arriving at the National Space Technology Research Institute in just over 10 minutes. After strict registration and checks at the entrance, the vehicle drove a few more minutes, directly entering a spacious indoor testing ground the size of a football field, most of which was uneven terrain with soil and gravel. Awaiting them were 3 elderly gentlemen with gray hair and 7 or 8 younger researchers. After getting out of the car and introducing themselves, besides Dong Lei's mentor, there was the tall and thin Academician Zhang, the slightly chubby Academician O, and Chief Engineer Lu among others. Under the watchful eyes of the group, they opened the trunk of the car. Under the command of Zhang Fan, Robot No. 1 extended its arms and legs and emerged from the trunk. Jia Xiaowei explained, it ran out of power earlier and hasn't fully charged yet. So it can only move for about 5 minutes now. Let us first observe its autonomous movement ability to see if it can walk around this facility. Academician O suggested. Number 1. Run a lap around this yard. Zhang Fan commanded. Yes. The robot slightly raised its forearms and, like a normal person running, moved forward. At first, it was a bit unstable on the uneven ground, but by the time it turned back after reaching the opposite side of the field, it was already very stable and could naturally navigate around several large rocks and a small patch of fine sand in the middle of the field. The round trip was approximately 200 meters and took about a minute and a half. Impressive. Voice recognition, fuzzy judgment, terrain recognition, balance correction, self-adjustment. Seeing is believing. Artificial intelligence can achieve this level, which is not simple at all. Academician Zhang lightly applauded, expressing his admiration. A crowd gathered around the robot to examine it closely and continuously asked questions. When everyone heard that this robot had been stumbling while walking just yesterday, and today it transformed after loading the intelligent program developed by Zhang Fan, they immediately looked at Zhang Fan with new respect. Chief Engineer Lu was particularly enthusiastic and extended an invitation. Xiao Zhang, are you interested in working at our institute? We would really welcome someone of your talent. Fortunately, Academician Zhang interjected. Xiao Lu, our Xiao Zhang is the founder of the company and a future billionaire. How could he possibly work for you? Academician O suggested. Let's go inside and discuss further. We should give this robot number 1 some charging. It needs to be well-fed to work well. Chapter 19. Continued testing after entering the lounge and sitting down. A young female researcher filled a disposable cup with water from the water dispenser and served everyone with a tray. The robot stood by the socket at the door, charging without shutting down. Chief Engineer Lu was very interested in the versatility of the intelligent program. As soon as he sat down, he asked questions about this aspect. There had been considerations during the design phase, but the exact effects were still uncertain. This robot was also undergoing its first cross-platform test, and only part of its capabilities had been tested so far. In front of the experts, Zhang Fan did not dare to exaggerate. This part is already impressive. Is there any other capability? Academician Zhang asked. I once wrote an intelligent customer service program at my previous company, but it was not very complete. Later, I resigned and came to my current company. While developing this intelligent program, I also enhanced the response functions, and the program evolved. So this capability should have improved as well, but it has not been tested yet, Zhang Fan explained carefully. There is a lot of research in this area currently, most of which is based on deep learning theories that require massive computing power and data support, which is still weak AI, a young researcher interjected. My current company doesn't have these resources either, so I switched my approach and enhanced the program's autonomous judgment and learning evolution capabilities. We trained the program through brainwave communication in a gaming pod. Perhaps these special conditions led to the program's evolution, and its imitation learning ability is quite strong. The computing power of this robot is not as good as our company's server, so it's uncertain what level it can reach. Zhang Fan's description piqued everyone's curiosity. As they chatted, Time passed quickly. At this moment, a small display screen on the robot's chest showed that charging was complete. Number 1. Bring me a cup of water. Zhang Fan commanded while holding a disposable cup. Yes. The robot unplugged the charger, then walked step by step to the coffee table where everyone was gathered. Picked up the tray used by the female researcher, adjusted it carefully, and held it up in front of Zhang Fan. Zhang Fan placed the paper cup onto it. The robot then walked to the water dispenser, crouched down, set the tray on a low table, picked up the paper cup, and because of the effort, the cup slightly deformed. It leaned closer to the water dispenser, pressed the hot water switch, and stopped the flow when the water reached about 7 to 8 millimeters from the cup's rim. It placed the cup back on the tray, picked up the tray, and walked back to Zhang Fan. Everyone was a bit stunned. This robot was truly remarkable. Zhang Fan took the cup and said, Number 1. Pour a cup for Academician Zhang, Academician O, and Chief Engineer Liu as well. Chief Engineer Liu sat next to Zhang Fan, while Academician Zhang and Academician O were on the other side. Chief Engineer Liu placed his cup into the tray. The robot walked over to Academician Zhang with the tray held in front, waiting to collect the teacups. The two academicians pretended not to recognize it and remained motionless. The robot held the tray for a minute, and seeing that the two still did not move, it reached out to take the full paper cups from in front of them and place them onto the tray, doing so very smoothly without spilling a drop. It stood straight, turned, and walked to the water dispenser, filling each cup. The cups for the two academicians were filled to the brim. The robot slowly walked to the coffee table, one hand holding the tray, while the other carefully placed the nearly overflowing paper cups in front of the two academicians. Finally, it walked in front of Chief Engineer Liu, who surprisingly took the paper cup and said thank you. Academician Zhang suddenly asked, Number 1. Do you know who I am? The robot turned to face Academician Zhang and replied, You are Academician Zhang, Professor Zhang, Teacher Zhang, Old Zhang. Number 1. Do you know who I am? Asked Dong Lei, who was next to Academician Zhang. The robot responded, You are Dong Lei, Chief Dong, Little Dong, Lazy. Everyone began to ask questions one after another, and the robot answered each one accurately, remembering all the names and titles used in the earlier interactions. Academician Zhang asked a series of questions, and the robot provided organized responses, some it knew and some it didn't, which set it apart from other artificial intelligences. In the end, Academician Zhang exclaimed, This intelligence is too good for customer service. It could be a public relations manager. I think it could even be my graduate student, haha. Academician O commented from the side. Chief Engineer Liu seriously inquired of Dong Lei, Chief Dong, how long until your robot can be mass-produced? If possible, we'd like to order 10 units. Having such an impressive robot as an assistant would greatly enhance efficiency. Dong Lei replied, Mass production might take at least 6 months. This robot has thousands of components that need to be molded, produced, assembled, and tested from scratch. Although excited, Dong Lei knew that after the initial buzz, there would be no shortage of buyers, so he had to play it cool. I think if this robot had a nice outer shell and was marketed as a domestic helper, it would definitely sell well. Its learning and error correction abilities are strong. If it learns to do laundry, cook, and clean, every household would want one, provided it isn't too expensive, interjected Liu Jia, the only female researcher in the lounge. Liu Jia's comments resonated with everyone, and they began discussing the possible uses of the robot. Some suggested it could work as a sanitation worker. Others thought it could serve as a bodyguard. Some mentioned it could assemble screws in factories. Others said it could deliver food, and some suggested it could help with construction. When it came to practical applications, I think the most realistic one is autonomous driving. With the recognition and judgment capabilities demonstrated earlier, and with some additional training, most mass-produced vehicles can achieve level 4 autonomous driving now, Academician Zhang stated. Old Zhang, several of your students are working on autonomous driving, right? Can you introduce them to us? Joked Academician O. This is Xiao Lu's territory. We two old fellows should not overshadow the main event. Engineer Liu, who is affectionately called Xiao Lu despite being over 60, quickly chimed in. We always welcome both academicians here. We usually can't get you to visit. It turns out that the two academicians came today to visit the Mars rover developed by Engineer Liu. A young researcher had recently posted a short video of testing robots, which caught their attention. On a whim, Academician Zhang invited them over for testing since the equipment and space here are abundant. Engineer Liu was initially not very interested in their robots, but now he genuinely wants to get a few for research. Of course, Engineer Liu is more interested in the intelligent program developed by Zhang Fan. Zhang Fan has no intention of keeping it a secret and is willing to share it. However, there are confidentiality issues that require multiple approvals. They agreed to leave contact information and discuss cooperation once the approvals come through. Back at Dong Lei's company in the development area, Zhang Fan, Sure Xian, and Dong Lei held a closed-door meeting to discuss the possibility of joint research. Zhang Fan had no objections personally, but expressed that such cooperation should be discussed at the corporate level. Dong Lei's company primarily sources various customer service robots. and he is well aware of the power of Zhang Fan's intelligent program. If the cooperation is realized, his company will achieve leapfrog development, far ahead of competitors. Therefore, he is determined to make the cooperation happen at all costs. After agreeing that Dong Lei would go to discuss specific cooperation with the Brainwave Company the next day, Shi Xian drove Zhang Fan back to the Jichuan Road Company. They had already contacted several company shareholders in advance for a meeting. Before the meeting, Shi Xian presented several video clips of robot testing through a slideshow. He then introduced the testing situation and the verbal cooperation intention reached with Dong Lei and Engineer Liu from the Space Research Institute. Zhang Fan, this is your research achievement. It should be based on your wishes. We are all benefiting from it, Liu Yifan said. Personally, I lean towards cooperation. As for the subsequent business model, I am not focused on economic benefits and find it bothersome. In fact, the intelligent program tested today is just a simplified version of a Cheng S. I can't estimate how intelligent a Cheng really is. I suggest we expand our server as soon as possible. The current computing power and capacity have already limited a Cheng's development. Wu Jin spoke up. A Cheng didn't say much today. It seemed a bit dull. They are all tech-minded individuals who are not good at negotiating business cooperation, and after a long discussion, they didn't reach a satisfactory conclusion. In the end, Liu Yifan decided to proceed with conventional business cooperation discussions. Chapter 20. Autonomous Driving Academician Zhang's words sparked an idea in Zhang Fan's mind. Although he can drive, he has never obtained a driver's license, and his driving skills come from his experience operating tractors and dump trucks back home. Yanjing is a congested city. He and Li Hong both walk to work within 10 minutes, and there are subways and taxis available, making car ownership unnecessary. Now that he wants to experiment with autonomous driving, buying a car is feasible, but getting a driver's license seems a bit late. On the way back, Zhang Fan discussed with Shi Xian to use his newly purchased vehicle, the CS-75, for an experiment. After the meeting, Zhang Fan took his laptop and went downstairs with Shi Xian. He sat in the passenger seat, fastened his seatbelt, opened his laptop, and connected to the car's network. You're sure about this, right? We have to compromise your vehicle's MCU control system to gain control, which might render your car unusable, Zhang Fan finally asked. If the car becomes unusable, it's fine. Just remember, don't let the car put us out of commission. Shi Xian joked for once. With Zhang Fan's password cracking skills, it would only take a few minutes to gain the highest level of control over the vehicle. He ran a simplified version of a Cheng's program on the laptop, leveraging its computing power to sequentially gain control over various subsystems. Ultimately, he accessed the initial data from all the car's cameras, onboard radar, and sensors. The intelligent program could only achieve autonomous driving by efficiently analyzing and interpreting this data. The laptop began displaying progress and time, AEB warning and braking system controlled, LCDA intelligent lane changing assistance system controlled, LDW lane departure warning system controlled, BSD blind spot monitoring system controlled, TPMS tire pressure monitoring system controlled, CCS cruise control system controlled, APS automatic parking assistance system controlled, ECU power output system controlled, IMS human-machine interaction system controlled. With each system controlled, the progress bar increased slightly. Finally, the progress bar was fully lit, and the laptop displayed monitoring images from 8 cameras, along with various parameter information such as engine RPM, temperature, gear position, speed, tire pressure, and cabin temperature. All right, we now have complete control over this vehicle and can monitor all parameters, Zhang Fan said. Shi Xian, let's hit the road. He needs to learn driving skills from you. Huh, I still have to drive? Shi Xian was puzzled. The intelligence system needs to learn too, but don't worry. It will learn much faster than you did for your driving test. Zhang Fan joked. First, open the navigation, set the destination, choose a route, and then let's go. Where to? A loop around the 4th ring road works too. Let us go, stop dawdling. Under Zhang Fan's urging, Shi Xian finally drove onto the 4th ring road. From Jichun Road to Dayun Village Road, then turned onto North 4th Ring Middle Road, passing Bafusi Bridge, Wangquan River Bridge, Lalongzhuang Bridge, Four Seasons Green Bridge, Dinghui Bridge, Wuxong, Nanshuo, and Yugaswang. A progress bar appeared at the top of the laptop's monitoring screen, and after the vehicle entered the 4th Ring Road, the progress slowed down. Around 3 in the afternoon, there was unexpectedly no traffic jam, and they moved smoothly. Shi Xian, take the auxiliary road ahead. Don't stay on the 4th ring, Zhang Fan commanded. Huh, how do we go? Whatever. Take the small roads. The more complicated, the better. So they went east from Fongbei Bridge to Lizhe Bridge on the 3rd Ring Road, turned a few corners, and reached the South 2nd Ring, where they began to encounter frequent traffic jams. The progress bar on the laptop had already exceeded 60%. Continue straight and turn left at the intersection, passing by a well-known garden. Next, turn right onto a certain street, then take another right into an alley. The road gradually narrows from 4 lanes to 2 lanes, then to a narrow path where meeting oncoming traffic becomes difficult, and the driving speed slows down significantly, with frequent stops. Fortunately, the driver's skills are excellent, maintaining a steady pace without sudden stops. Amid the left and right turns, the autonomous driving progress bar finally reached its limit, and the vehicle smoothly entered a wide street. "All right, the learning is complete. You can let go of the steering wheel now," said the passenger. "Is it that casual?" At that moment, the driver felt a bit anxious. After a few minutes of inner struggle, he finally gritted his teeth and released the steering wheel. The vehicle continued to drive steadily. The car proceeded north along the main street, passing several landmarks with ease. It smoothly navigated through various intersections, waiting for traffic lights, just like an experienced driver. While turning left under a bridge, an electric delivery vehicle suddenly appeared, and the car automatically braked sharply, stopping just a meter in front of it. After merging onto a major highway heading north, the speed quickly accelerated to the maximum limit. In under 20 kilometers, it took 15 minutes, encountering other vehicles along the way, rarely dropping below 100 kilometers per hour. On the way back to the company, the passenger finally closed his notebook. The system has been installed, and the operation interface and commands remain mostly unchanged. However, the vehicle can no longer undergo official upgrades, and it's best not to seek official maintenance, as it could reveal the modifications. "Bro, I'm impressed. You really are something." The driver expressed admiration. The smart system will monitor everything and intervene in dangerous situations. Other issues will be indicated through the dashboard as before. I've backed up all the original system codes, so if you ever want to revert to manual driving, I can restore it for you. "Isn't this car somewhat like the one from a famous TV show?" he joked. But this car isn't as sturdy as theirs. Upon returning to the company, the vehicle autonomously found a parking space. The usually reserved driver excitedly boasted to his colleagues, explaining that only verbal commands were needed, and everything else was done automatically. One colleague, eager to try it out, regretted that his older model lacked such automation features. Another, who drove a less common electric model, shared that it had basic autonomous driving capabilities, making modifications easier. "I also drove that brand in another country, and the autonomous experience was quite poor, only usable on highways, and you always had to be ready to take over. However, manual driving is quite enjoyable, even better than gasoline cars," he shared. "Is there still time to make modifications before the end of the workday?" The Tesla is highly automated and should be modified quickly. With the driving experience just gained, it can hit the road right after the modifications, Zhang Fan affirmed. "Let's go down together then. It's rare for all of us to gather today. Let's do some team building," Lu Yifan interjected. "The boss is treating, I wholeheartedly agree," Su Kan and Wu Jin exclaimed. The Tesla has a high level of integration, so there's no need to control each subsystem individually. Once hacked, the highest level of control can be directly used to install the autonomous driving system. The entire process takes less than 10 minutes. Lu Yifan and Zhang Fan took Zhang Tsung's Tesla, while Su Kan and Wu Jun rode in Sure Xian CS75, heading straight to the Yanjing Club in the East City. Chapter 21. Restaurant Encounter. Yanjing Club is one of the top 10 clubs in the capital, gathering high-level executives from Fortune 500 foreign companies, leaders from state-owned and private enterprises, and other high-income individuals. The annual membership fee is 200,000 RMB, and other expenses are calculated separately. The Tesla, costing over 500,000, is only considered an ordinary car here, while the CS75, priced over 100,000, is viewed with more respect. When the security guard at the parking lot saw Sure Xian and the others get out of the car while it parked itself, his jaw nearly dropped. When did domestic cars become this advanced? Ignoring the guard's astonishment, the six of them took an elevator to the top floor of the building. The top floor features a Western restaurant spanning over 1,000 square meters. Perhaps due to the time, there were only a few scattered tables occupied. Zhang Fan had counted the number of times he had eaten Western food on one hand. His impression was that it was expensive, troublesome, and not filling. The waiter led them to a table by the window and handed them the menu. Lu Yifan called out to everyone, "Order whatever you want. Don't hold back on spending. Enjoy the meal. Waiter, do you have any specials today? We have Australian lobster that just arrived this morning. Let us get one for each of us. You all can order whatever else you want." Everyone began to place their orders. Zhang Fan ordered orange juice, steak, tomato salad, and mushroom soup. The restaurant was not crowded, and the dishes came out quickly. Since they were colleagues, there was no need to act refined. They dug in heartily. Lu Yifan ordered a bottle of red wine from a reportedly very old vineyard in France for 2,000 RMB, claiming its taste was comparable to that of Lafite. Only Zhang Fan and Su Kan abstained from alcohol. Su Kan stated he needed to maintain the precision of a surgeon and stay away from alcoholic beverages. Zhang Fan usually ate quickly, and not long after the last dish was served, he had nearly finished and leaned back in his chair, scrolling through his phone. A video on a certain platform showcasing their morning basketball court test of the robot had surpassed 1 million views, with tens of thousands of comments. The first few comments were filled with skepticism, while others countered the doubts. Some claimed it was a human simulation, with rebuttals pointing out that metal parts and wires were exposed. How could that be a simulation? Others questioned if the video was edited, with self-proclaimed authorities denying any editing and confirming it was filmed in one continuous shot. Some asserted confidently that someone was controlling it from a distance, while others believed that even if someone was controlling it, achieving such balance with the robot required a high level of both software and hardware capabilities. Scrolling through dozens of videos posted by various people from different angles, the comments section was filled with endless debates. At that moment, two elegantly dressed women walked over to their table. Zhang Fan, sitting by the window, happened to look up and saw them. Their table was in the corner of the restaurant, and at this angle, only they were dining there. When beautiful women approached, it was evident they were looking for someone. Zhang Fan was sure they weren't looking for him, as he didn't know them. Everyone turned their heads, and Lu Yifan quickly wiped his mouth and stood up. Ms. Gao? What a coincidence to see you here. The woman in her 30s walking in front was named Gao Hua, a well-known venture capital manager. And the younger woman behind her was her assistant, Su Xian. After the completion of the second batch of gaming pods, the company's finances were in a tight spot, and Lu Yifan had been busy seeking investments. Gao Hua was one of the contacts he had made, but she had clearly rejected the investment just 2 days ago. It was obviously not an appropriate place to talk, and judging by Gao Hua's demeanor, she didn't seem like someone who would just greet them and leave. Lu Yifan pulled Zhang Fan along with the two women to the tea room downstairs, asking the others to finish their meal and wait for them at the club's KTV. Mr. Lu, I just received news that your company has made breakthroughs in artificial intelligence technology. Is it true? Gao Hua asked eagerly as soon as they sat down in the tea room. That's correct. This morning, we conducted the first test of the robot developed in collaboration with Jingyun Intelligent, and the video has caused a sensation online. Academician Zhang Fa from the Huakai Institute, an authority in the field of artificial intelligence in the country, participated in the test and gave it high praise. Lu Yifan replied calmly. What level has your artificial intelligence reached? Gao Hua continued. This is Mr. Zhang Fan, our company's second largest shareholder and the head of the artificial intelligence project. Let him introduce it to you, Lu Yifan said. Only then did Gao Hua carefully observe the seemingly unremarkable Zhang Fan, with his messy short hair and cheap brown jacket, looking quite like a socially awkward tech guy. Mr. Zhang, could you give us a detailed introduction? Gao Hua smiled charmingly at him. Just call me Zhang Fan, Ms. Gao. This intelligent program is an unexpected result that emerged during our game development process. It's hard to say exactly what level it has reached, but as far as I know, it should be superior to the known intelligent programs on the market, Zhang Fan explained. This was the nth time he had introduced it to someone, and he was starting to feel a bit annoyed, but he felt a little better about introducing it to beautiful women. Can it surpass Boston Dynamics' Big Dog? Su Xian, who had been silent, asked. They develop both hardware and software themselves, while we are purely on the software side. In terms of the same hardware, our product is superior. Zhang Fan replied earnestly. He noticed the two women's expressions seemed somewhat skeptical. Seeing is believing. We just conducted a test on vehicle automation. Would you two ladies like to experience it? Lu Yifan suggested. That sounds good. It's more convincing than any robot. Gao Hua praised. Gao Hua, Su Xian, and Lu Yifan were waiting in front of the building when they saw Zhang Fan walk out. Did you not go to get the keys? I did. Zhang Fan took out his phone and called out, Xiao Te, come pick me up. In less than half a minute, Zhang Tsung's white Tesla came to a steady stop in front of the crowd, with no one inside the car. Lu Yifan was in the driver's seat. Gao Hua voluntarily took the passenger seat, while Zhang Fan and Su Xian sat in the back. Let's go to the Dongfang Plaza, to the Junhua Hotel. Gao Hua said. Xiao Te, take us to the Dongfang Plaza, Junhua Hotel. Zhang Fan repeated. The vehicle started and slowly drove onto the road. By this time, it was completely dark outside, and the car skillfully maneuvered through the traffic, with Lu Yifan's hands resting on his lap, never touching the steering wheel. Heading south to Sanlitun Road, there were often pedestrians crossing the street, and the car moved at a steady pace. Almost no one on the road noticed this vehicle, and the driver's hands remained on his lap. Traveling west on Goni North Road, the car turned left at Zhangzhizhong Road and continued south, quickly arriving at Dongdan. Get out at the Junhua Hotel, Gao Hua said. The Tesla stopped in front of the hotel, and the bellboy came over to open the car door. Gao Hua said to Lu Yifan, the parking lot here doesn't allow autonomous driving, so I'll trouble you, Mr. Lu, to park the car. We'll wait for you at the cafe. Following the two women into the cafe of the five-star hotel, it was a very quiet place where everyone spoke in hushed tones. Gao Hua asked, Mr. Zhang, how old are you this year? I was born in 84, so I'm 35 this year. Su Xian smiled and said, you look like you're 45. I tend to age quickly. Zhang Fan joked. As far as I know, this technology has been developed almost solely by you. I wonder if Mr. Zhang is interested in pursuing it independently? Gao Hua tempted. I've already achieved financial freedom, so I'm not very interested in making more money. Oh, then what are you interested in? Gao Hua asked curiously. Chapter 22. Telepathy in the cafe of the Junhua Hotel. Faced with Gao Hua's question, Zhang Fan showed no signs of embarrassment. My current interest is my work, developing a unique game for our gaming pod. Today, I've taken on a new interest, which is using our smart program to accelerate the popularization of autonomous driving. Autonomous driving is expected to become the next big trend. If your company can provide a mature solution, it's not impossible to become the Microsoft of the automotive industry, Gao Hua said excitedly. Lu Yifan had already parked the car and just arrived at the cafe. What does Ms. Gao think of our technology? I've experienced most of the well-known autonomous driving technologies, and only Baidu S is comparable to yours. Their problem is the high cost of popularization. After taking a sip of coffee, Gao Hua continued, your pure software solution is a huge temptation for all car manufacturers. If this technology passes official testing, your company's valuation could increase tenfold or more. I wonder if Ms. Gao is interested in working with us? Our company is just getting started, and many aspects are not standardized. We urgently need senior management talent like you. Lu Yifan suddenly extended an invitation. What kind of compensation can you offer me, Mr. Lu? Gao Hua did not seem surprised by the invitation. Chief Operating Officer, with 2% of the company's equity over 5 years. To be honest, this position is quite appealing to me, but unfortunately, I have a contract with my current company and cannot leave casually. Gao Hua was clearly a bit tempted. I can recommend a more suitable candidate for you. General Lu has to agree that if there's financing under the same conditions in the future, we should be given priority. No problem, but I wonder who you're recommending? Su Huiyun, who has served as the marketing deputy director for a large automotive company and as the vice president of a new energy vehicle company, has extensive connections in the industry and has just left her job. She is exactly who you need right now. Zhang Fan listened to their conversation, feeling quite bored. He leaned back against the sofa and closed his eyes to rest. Su Xin, sitting opposite him, found his demeanor amusing and kept staring at him. This guy has such poor taste in clothing. He must be single. He is also the second largest shareholder in the company, so he must be worth over 100 million. A classic bachelor, though he doesn't look great, and doesn't quite match up with me. I wonder what he thinks of me. Zhang Fan suddenly opened his eyes, meeting Su Xin's gaze. He closed his eyes again, feeling the murmurs from across the way. Why is he suddenly staring at me? Does he know what I'm thinking? No way. This guy looks like he has low emotional intelligence. He probably hasn't even had a girlfriend yet. Oh, Sister Gao really is something, dragging me into overtime and talking endlessly. This guy is so relaxed. He wouldn't have fallen asleep, would he? No wonder he doesn't have a girlfriend. A beautiful woman is sitting across from him, and he is actually sleeping. Zhang Fan felt himself in a peculiar state, clearly sensing the woman's thoughts across from him, while the conversation of the two people beside him seemed to fade away. Eventually, he actually fell asleep. It was only a few minutes, but it felt like a long time. This feeling was quite strange. Suddenly, he woke up to Gao Hua's voice. Let us stop here for today. I'll tell Su Huiyun to come for an interview tomorrow morning. Seeing Zhang Fan open his eyes, Gao Hua added, Mr. Zhang looks tired. Work is important, but you need to make sure to rest more. After leaving the Junhua Hotel, Zhang Fan didn't go to the Yanjing Club with Lu Yifan. Instead, he planned to take the subway straight home. Standing at the platform of Line 8, lost in thought, he suddenly felt a tap on his right shoulder. What is this guy doing waiting for the subway here? Turning to his left, he was greeted by a surprised expression from Su Xin. Hey, why didn't you turn the other way? You're over here. Why should I turn that way? You're really no fun. Seeing Zhang Fan continue to zone out, she couldn't help but ask again. Aren't you guys having a colleague gathering? Why aren't you going back? I can't sing. It's boring. Isn't it just singing for a few big men at KTV? Do you have a health issue? This guy can't be a recluse, can he? I have a girlfriend, and we're planning to get married. As the subway arrived with a rush, not many people got off, but many boarded. There were no vacant seats. The two held onto the handrails, with Su Xin standing behind Zhang Fan, unable to resist poking him. Where are you getting off? This guy can't possibly have a girlfriend. Which woman would be blind enough to like him? I'll transfer to line 10 at Beta City. Zhang Fan now found this sudden ability, whether it was a special power or telepathy, quite annoying. Could it be that spending too much time in the brainwave gaming pod caused a hallucination? Or maybe this woman's brainwaves are on the same frequency as mine. But it seems she clearly can't sense my thoughts. This guy isn't saying anything again. Shouldn't he ask me where I'm getting off? Su Xin started to mumble to herself again. How can someone so dull have a girlfriend? She must be really unattractive. Oh dear. Maybe his girlfriend is in that line of work, older, and just married a decent guy. How pitiful. He must not be able to satisfy her. He is probably controlled all the time. All his income has to be turned in. He has to get home on time after work. Suddenly, Zhang Fan felt a bit impressed by this woman's imagination. Just then, the phone rang. He took it out and saw it was Li Hong calling. Zhang Fan, are you working late again? What time will you be back? Do you need me to save you some dinner? I'll be home in half an hour. I'm on the subway and have already eaten. Okay, hanging up. Su Xin, who was eavesdropping, felt excited again. This guy is doomed. I wonder if he'll have to kneel on a washboard or a keyboard when he gets home. Amid Su Xin's rich inner thoughts, they finally arrived at Beitou City Station. Finally free from that gossip, Zhang Fan greeted and quickly got off the train. By the time he got home, it was already past 9 o'clock at night. Li Hong was wearing a fluffy pajama set, lounging on the sofa scrolling through her phone, while a TV drama played in the background. Working so late every day, she's busier than I am. She must not have the time to go out and mess around. I'm back. You've eaten, right? Zhang Fan asked while changing into his slippers. I finished eating early, waiting for you to come back, or I'd starve. Li Hong continued to lie on the sofa scrolling through her phone. Putting down the bag containing his laptop, Zhang Fan sat on the sofa, reached out to pull Li Hong into his arms, and gave her a peck on the lips. Wife, did you miss me? So gross. Hurry up and brush your teeth, and take a shower. Li Hong blocked Zhang Fan's attempt to get closer with her hand, expressing her disdain. No good deed goes unpunished. There must be something going on. Zhang Fan suddenly felt that this telepathy was quite useful. Today we made an invention that could change the world. Zhang Fan announced proudly. ISNT your gaming pod also claiming to change the world? I haven't seen any changes. Li Hong scoffed. That's for the future. I'm talking about the present. What's in the present? Show me. Artificial intelligence. The actual product will take a few more days. Zhang Fan suddenly felt he had bragged a bit too early. Let me buy you a car. I can install the AI in it and let you experience true driverless technology. We get to work faster walking than driving. Are we just going to buy a car to let it gather dust in the garage? Li Hong countered again. But you still want to go home to see your parents. We're also planning to travel. It'll come in handy. Fine, you decide what car to buy. I don't know as much as you do. Li Hong stopped opposing. What day do you have off? Let us go buy a car. Aren't you working? I'm one of the bosses. I can take a break whenever I want. Look at you being all smug. Chapter 23 Amazing Changes. Su Huiyun is a decisive woman. Shortly after joining the company, she paused negotiations with a certain firm, requesting a more comprehensive and objective assessment of the technology's value. At the same time, she carried out a large-scale restructuring of the company, establishing more rigorous rules and evaluation standards, clearly defining each person's responsibilities and performance indicators. Most importantly, she established an artificial intelligence development department centered around Zhang Fan, reallocating a large number of programmers from the game development department to assist him. Using a simplified version created by Chung as the core, Zhang Fan designed 3 general-purpose intelligent program cores targeting customer service, robot control, and autonomous driving. On top of these 3 cores, he added an outer layer, incorporating standard input and output interfaces to facilitate future integration with partner companies' programs. This work posed no difficulty for Zhang Fan. Once he completed the core program and interface framework, the remaining coding was delegated to other programmers. Among these, the artificial customer service was completed first, as it was the simplest. It only needed to accept text, image, or voice inputs and provide feedback. By attaching different customer service profiles, it could function as various customer service representatives. Once connected to the internet, it became an intelligent QA program. This program was tested internally within the company and received enthusiastic feedback from everyone. Due to its astonishing growth rate, it quickly evolved into a versatile search engine, significantly outperforming many existing options in terms of accuracy. Su Huiyun immediately recognized its value and suggested that Zhang Fan develop this program into an app for public release, allowing everyone to download it for free. The graphic designer, Su Won, created a cute little rabbit as the logo for the program. Within just 3 days, the Meng 2 app was launched. The app was only a few dozen megabytes in size, didn't require user registration, but did need certain permissions. Users could ask questions through text, voice, or image inputs. While the answers might not always be precise, the learning speed was astonishing, with very few incorrect answers appearing a second time. Su Huiyun did not invest in advertising. The app gained traction solely through word of mouth among the employees. On the first day, there were only a few hundred downloads. The next day, it surpassed 2,000. By the third day, downloads exceeded 10,000. Within a week, the total number of downloads surpassed 10 million, prompting the company to urgently expand its cloud server capacity. Many users found the Rabbit remarkably effective for search purposes. Different demographics received tailored responses. Not only could it search for information, but it could also engage in conversation, making it easy for nearly everyone to connect. It could tell stories to kindergarten children without repeating, help elementary school students with homework more efficiently than their parents, discuss traditional and oil painting techniques with artists, share the lives of Van Gogh and Picasso, gossip about TV actors, and provide information on grocery prices and discounts at nearby supermarkets with homemakers, and converse about workplace rules, stock market trends, and the future prospects of various industries and companies with white-collar professionals. This little rabbit seemed to know everything. In the same field, the more discussions there are, the deeper the content becomes, and it is not just random answers found online. It seems he has his own analytical methods. This rabbit also possesses a positive outlook and a rigorous set of guidelines, perfectly adhering to various laws and regulations. It is worth noting that many large tech companies struggle with this, spending huge amounts of money each year on self-examination and correction, yet still occasionally facing reprimands from regulatory authorities. The number of downloads has increased rapidly, and the traffic is overwhelming. To avoid impacting user experience, the company has had to continuously add multiple regional servers across East China, Central China, South China, Southwest, Northwest, and Northeast regions. Fortunately, due to the unique nature of this intelligent program, most calculations are done on the client side, with the server merely maintaining connectivity and knowledge sharing among all clients. The increase in servers is primarily for the evolution of the intelligent program. The massive traffic has accelerated the program's evolution within just over half a month. The knowledge reserves of the cute rabbit have far surpassed those of a few months of training of another individual, though it still lacks the brainwave sensing and decryption abilities, making it less intelligent in comparison. At this point, the installation count of the cute rabbit has exceeded 1 billion in less than a month. Despite this, due to the free download policy and the absence of advertisements, direct revenue remains zero, and the cost of leasing servers has become a heavy burden. Fortunately, thanks to the immense success of the cute rabbit, Su Huiyan quickly negotiated several usage authorizations, including one with a leading tech firm, generating hundreds of millions in revenue for the company and alleviating immediate financial pressures. According to the signed contracts, some authorization fees are charged based on time, while others depend on the number of clients served, ensuring a continuous income stream for the company in the future. A month ago, Liu Yifan was going door to door seeking funding, begging for support, and facing constant rejections. Now the situation has reversed, with major investment funds and tech giants approaching him with checkbooks in hand, and the company's valuation has skyrocketed 100-fold compared to just a month ago, a turn of events that even Gao Hua did not anticipate. Liu Yifan is now inundated with invitations, and various major tech conferences frequently send him invitations, heralding the rise of a new star in the tech industry. Even Zheng Fan, who strives to remain low profile, received several invitations to speak at tech forums, all of which he declined. Due to the strict review process of the application store for a certain brand of smartphones, coupled with Zheng Fan's personal preferences, the cute rabbit has not developed a program for that platform. The significant impact of the cute rabbit within less than a month of its launch has compelled the typically arrogant president of the tech firm to proactively invite Su Huiyan for negotiations regarding the development of an application for their platform. During a company meeting, Su Huiyan humorously remarked that the activation rate of the latest smartphones from that company has plummeted, indicating that they are feeling the pressure. The program itself has not been developed in other language versions, and testing has consistently been conducted in Chinese. The intelligent core is inherently compatible with multiple languages. As long as there is sufficient traffic, the knowledge reserves will also grow, and the experience in other languages is not significantly different from that in Chinese. After half a month online, foreign download records have gradually begun to appear. The growth in domestic downloads slowed after exceeding 1 billion, while the number of downloads from abroad started to increase gradually. The decentralized algorithm structure used by the application is similar to virtual currency and does not require server support, allowing individual clients to operate independently. The difference lies in the speed of knowledge system evolution. Domestically, there is ample server support, and the evolution of the knowledge system can be completed in about a month. In regions without such support, the evolution is slower, but it is gradually accelerating with the increase in user numbers. Once the user base in English-speaking regions surpassed 1 million, user experience and reputation began to flourish, leading to an explosive growth in user numbers. This caught the attention of local authorities. This application, originating from a certain country, is decentralized and can interconnect in various ways, constantly evolving and self-upgrading. It spreads like a virus, infiltrating everyone's smartphones. More importantly, the application seems to possess a form of autonomous consciousness, subtly promoting the values of its country, which is hard to tolerate. Some individuals expressing concerns about this country have begun to call for the banning of the application, claiming it represents an internet invasion. The issue is that the application is highly useful and completely free. Why shouldn't we use it? It teaches the less fortunate where to find discounted products and how to navigate complex supermarket coupons. It informs the middle class on tax avoidance strategies and how to find higher-paying jobs. Even many lawmakers opposing this application are privately using it to gather information on political rivals, finding it much more convenient than other platforms. The application addresses various difficulties in people's lives, and although some answers may be amusingly absurd, even a single useful response is considered a win. Furthermore, This application has not been legally listed in local app stores, making it difficult to impose a ban. Users are installing it through word of mouth and various self-initiated methods. Unless the internet is entirely shut down, it cannot be prohibited. The world has undergone a significant transformation as a result. Chapter 24. Superintelligence. The remarkable performance of the application has propelled a small company, which was established less than 6 months ago, to become a dark horse in the internet sector. With just one intelligent program, it has already achieved a valuation exceeding $10 billion. The number of installations worldwide has surpassed 1 billion in just 1 month and continues to grow at an astonishing rate. Major internet companies and countless programmers are studying this program. For these programming experts, cracking it is not particularly challenging. It uses common programming languages, and every line of code is comprehensible. The real difficulty lies in the fact that when these codes are connected, no one can fully understand them. And the code consists of millions of lines. Even more perplexing is that the code cracked by different individuals varies, yet the functionalities remain the same. Even if all networks were cut off, the code deciphered by the same person at different times would exhibit significant variations. A professor of computer science at a prominent university publicly declared that this is a program of a new era that has reshaped his understanding. The founder of a major social network claimed that this is a living program, with each installation on a smartphone acting as a neuron. The former richest person in the world stated in an interview that the era of artificial intelligence has arrived. The statements from these prominent figures were not as sensational as those from an ordinary person. A homeless man named Tom claimed that he successfully predicted the Powerball numbers using a certain tool, and the television station aired footage of him receiving a prize of $77.8 billion. The exposure of this news drove countless ordinary people in a certain country into a frenzy. Within a week, lottery sales across various platforms broke historical records. In the same Powerball draw, over 20,000 people won the jackpot, sharing a total prize of $300 million, which meant each person received less than 20,000, a situation never seen before. Subsequently, the usage of the prediction tool skyrocketed beyond 2 billion, leading to a surge in global lottery sales, with the number of jackpot winners reaching new highs, while the jackpot amounts continued to drop. In addition to searching, chatting, and predicting lottery numbers, creative individuals continuously developed various ways to utilize the tool. Requests ranged from fortune-telling to seeking psychological comfort, job hunting, and making new friends. Interestingly, as the number of people seeking friendships increased, the tool actually helped some individuals connect successfully. After these experiences were shared online, the tool gained a new service as a matchmaker, with demand soaring. The popularity of the tool was particularly distressing for a major tech company, as their search business sharply declined and their market value fell continuously. Streamers on live and short video platforms, who developed various gameplay using the tool, quickly gained popularity. The company's influence expanded, and personnel increased rapidly. The artificial intelligence development department led by a certain individual grew to dozens of people, with many companies approaching for collaboration, resulting in over $1 billion in licensing fees collected. These licensing companies were the result of careful selection, filtering out most unqualified firms. The 4 major telecom operators, a dozen banks, and several well-known internet companies became significant paying clients. It's likely that many customer service representatives may face unemployment, as competition in online streaming continues to intensify. After a busy month, the workload for the individual finally eased. Due to the hectic schedule, he missed the finals of a fighting competition, but his team still won the annual championship thanks to the performances of 2 key members. Despite the busy schedule, he managed to find time to buy a car with a friend. After much consideration, he chose an imported top-spec Volvo XC60 for its high safety rating and plug-in hybrid capability, allowing it to qualify for green plates. He immediately added the autonomous driving feature. But since his friend had just acquired her own vehicle and was eager to drive, the autonomous feature had yet to be utilized. Negotiations with automotive companies were ongoing. The testing program for the Universal Autonomous Driving System designed by him was developed in overtime, enabling all car manufacturers to match their models for testing. The focus of negotiations remained on licensing fees and the responsibility for any accidents involving autonomous driving. The licensing fees were primarily a matter of bargaining, and a conclusion would eventually be reached. Currently, it was a seller's market, and whichever company could launch their model first would likely gain an advantage. Therefore, despite the tough negotiations, automakers were racing to accelerate their production to bring new models to market as soon as possible. The current solution for assuming responsibility in autonomous driving accidents is to collaborate with insurance companies to develop new insurance products, allocating a portion of the authorization fees to insure each vehicle. This new insurance type requires support from national policies and regulations. The true realization of autonomous driving ultimately depends on the allowance of national laws and regulations, and the duration of this process will require efforts from various sectors. In reality, the number of privately modified autonomous vehicles is increasing. The general testing program for autonomous driving has lowered the difficulty of modifications, allowing the program to be integrated into the vehicle system as long as the hardware conditions of the vehicle meet the requirements. Initially, this program circulated within the participating car manufacturers, but it quickly spread to society at large, and now, nearly any automotive repair shop with some technical capability can perform such modifications. Traffic police initially imposed penalties and education for the use of autonomous driving. But as the number of cases grew too large to manage, they had to turn a blind eye, allowing drivers to operate as long as someone was in the driver's seat and they were not overly conspicuous. However, the autonomous driving capabilities of these modified vehicles are greatly limited by the original hardware, and as the number of modified vehicles increases, incidents of system failures leading to loss of control and accidents are inevitable. There have been calls in society to completely ban autonomous driving. But this has had the opposite effect, raising awareness among those who were previously unaware, and many have found the technology to be incredibly useful. Once people start using it, they find it hard to stop. It is widely recognized that when accidents occur in aviation, the consequences can be severe. Yet this does not deter the increasing number of air travelers, as the accident rate can be reduced to negligible levels. Certain less popular models saw a surge in sales after being praised for their compatibility with autonomous driving by a major automotive media outlet. Conversely, a hot-selling model that experienced a system failure while driving, resulting in an accident, saw its sales plummet, forcing the manufacturer to announce a comprehensive recall for upgrades. In this context of high expectations, Shan City Automotive was the first to complete negotiations, equipping several upcoming models with pre-installed autonomous driving systems. Following the announcement, Shan City Automotive's pre-sales exceeded 300,000 units within days, prompting the company to work overtime to ramp up production. With the first mover paving the way, Shin City Automotive quickly followed suit in completing negotiations, along with its former parent company, Jixiang Automotive and Peng City Automotive, which successively secured authorization. Within a matter of days, 90 of newly launched domestic models achieved authorization for original autonomous driving systems. The era of autonomous driving is truly on the horizon. Chapter 25. Returning home for the new year. This year's Spring Festival comes particularly late, but for healthcare workers, the holiday is busier than usual. Healthcare personnel do not have standard holiday breaks. Even longer vacations are often taken in fragments. Today is the 29th day of the lunar month, and after finishing her night shift, Li Hong is ready to take her holiday. She is once again transitioning with Chengya. Li Hong, are you ready to take Zheng Fan home to see your parents? Yes, I'll leave soon. I'll even make it back in time for breakfast. As you approach 30, it's time to settle down and have a child soon, or you'll be considered a high-risk mother. After saying goodbye to the chatty Chengya, Li Hong changed her clothes in the break room and walked out of the emergency department building with her bag. Her car was already waiting at the door. She opened the car door and sat in the driver's seat, while Zheng Fan was sitting in the passenger seat chatting with a beautiful nurse in the back seat, Lu Xiaoyuan, who had recently transferred to obstetrics and gynecology. Brother-in-law, how many days off do you get for the new year? She asked, while scrolling through her phone. Li Hong absent-mindedly replied, 7 days. We start work on the 6th day of the new year. Oh, you're so lucky. I had to argue with our head nurse just to get 3 days off. It's really inhumane. Lu Xiaoyuan said indignantly. Lu Xiaoyuan, why aren't you heading home after work? What are you doing in my car? You're a newcomer, and you're not satisfied with 3 days off for the new year. We've had to spend several years working in the hospital before we could even get a break during the holiday. Li Hong scolded while fastening her seatbelt. Rainbow sister, I asked brother-in-law, and since you're going home, you'll pass by Xiaoyaju. I want to hitch a ride. I haven't even been in your luxury car. Lu Xiaoyuan complained. Who told you to forget your loyalty? You didn't come when I treated you. Sit properly and fasten your seatbelt. Oh, come on. Why should I fasten my seatbelt in the back? The police can't see me. Lu Xiaoyuan grumbled, but still buckled up. The day you treated us. My boyfriend had a class reunion, and they all insisted on bringing their girlfriends. How could I not go? The car slowly started and drove out of the hospital gate. Doesn't this car have autopilot? You're still driving yourself. You're outdated. Let me tell you, that thing is so useful. You just need to tell the car where to go, and you don't have to worry about anything else. Your brother-in-law is still a programmer. He should install one for you, and you'll be free. This car has it, but I prefer to drive myself. Li Hong replied. Xiaoyuan, are you going to your boyfriend's house for the new year? How could I go to his house for the new year? His family is in Longjiang, and I only have 3 days off. By the time I travel back and forth, it's not worth it. This year, we're all going our separate ways. Lu Xiaoyuan said. I really envy you. Brother-in-law can go to your house every year for the new year. After Lu Xiaoyuan got out at the Xiaoyaju intersection, the car drove onto the Jingqing Expressway. Li Hong's home was in Miyun County. The journey took less than an hour on the highway, passing through Huairou to reach Miyun. After getting off the highway and taking Shunmi Road into the county, They turned onto Shindong Road and then right into the Myangli community. Li Wenming and Dai Fong had started preparing early in the morning, around 7. They spent 2 hours preparing a table full of dishes for their daughter's boyfriend, who was visiting for the first time. The couple had been married for over 30 years and had only this one precious daughter. They had been strict with her when she was young, and she was obedient, never having dated during her school years. However, now, 7 or 8 years after graduation, as she approached 30 without having been in a relationship, the couple couldn't help but worry. They had tried several times to introduce her to potential partners, but she was not interested. When she called yesterday, she said she would be coming home with her boyfriend after her night shift to celebrate the new year. The couple was so excited that they couldn't sleep until midnight. They had already discussed that no matter what conditions the boyfriend had, they would greet him with smiles. "Old man, go downstairs and take a look. They should be arriving soon," Dai Fong said to Li Wenming, who was watching the news on TV. "Got it. I'm going now." Li Wenming, who had been a teacher for over 30 years, took pride in raising a well-rounded daughter. However, his daughter's marriage had become a source of concern over the years. Whenever his wife brought it up, Li Wenming would always say not to rush. It was good that their daughter had her own opinions, and one shouldn't settle when it came to marriage. Inside, he felt quite anxious. Now that there finally seemed to be some progress regarding his daughter's marriage, he breathed a sigh of relief. He ran into a neighbor from the same building, an old friend from the chess club, Mr. Zhang, who had retired a year ago. "Oldly, out for a stroll? My daughter said she is coming back today, so I'm going to greet her." "Oh, what a coincidence. I'm here to pick up my daughter too. Let us wait together." Mr. Zhang also had a daughter, who worked in the city and had married a son-in-law from a foreign company 2 years ago. This gave Mr. Zhang a sense of superiority over Li Wenming. After all, no matter how pretty or accomplished Li Wenming's daughter was, she still wasn't married. With more people buying cars, parking spaces had become increasingly tight. Outside vehicles weren't even allowed into the community without a parking spot. Li Hong usually had to get out of the car at the community entrance and drag her luggage inside. The two old men stood at the community entrance chatting. "Oldly, doesn't Li Hong have a partner yet? You should talk to her. She is not getting any younger. Don't be too picky, just find someone suitable." Mr. Zhang began his usual routine of unsolicited advice, which, while seemingly sensible, was hard to hear. Once the kids grow up, they should make their own decisions about marriage. As parents, we just need to support them. Li Wenming replied. "That makes sense, but when it comes to your own child, aren't you anxious?" Mr. Zhang persisted. "There's no use in worrying about such things. Fate will decide." Just then, a taxi pulled over, and Mr. Zhang's daughter, Zhang Li, got out. "Dad, Uncle Li, you're both here." Mr. Zhang hurried over to help with the suitcase, asking, "Why are you back alone? Where's Wang Kai?" He went back to his own home for the new year. "Uncle Li, is Li Hong coming back for the new year? She hasn't been back in years. Isn't her hospital so busy?" "She is coming back today. The hospital is usually busy, but it's even busier during the holidays. And they have to take turns for time off." Li Wenming explained for what felt like the umpteenth time. Mr. Zhang and his daughter had been gone for almost half an hour when, just as Li Wenming was beginning to feel a bit anxious, a white Volvo pulled up beside him. The window rolled down, and his daughter Li Hong was at the wheel. "Dad, were you getting anxious waiting? I told you not to come down." Zheng Fan got out from the passenger seat. "Hello, Uncle. I'm Zheng Fan, Li Hong's boyfriend." Li Wenming felt a bit disappointed as he observed the short and unremarkable-looking Zheng Fan. He quickly snapped back to reality. Hello. Welcome to our home for the new year. Let us hurry back. Your aunt has already prepared the meal and is just waiting for you two." After opening the trunk, in addition to 2 large suitcases, there were also 2 boxes of high-end liquor, 2 packs of premium cigarettes, 2 boxes of traditional health products, 2 boxes of high-end candies, 2 boxes of gourmet snacks, and 2 boxes of strawberries, among other gifts. Knowing that the items were not easy to carry, he specially prepared a foldable luggage cart, which he set up on the ground to place the gifts on top, allowing him to carry everything away. "Why buy so much? It's all quite expensive." "What a waste of money," Li Wenming said politely, but felt pleased inside. This nouveau riche can't help but spend money. Li Hong complained to her father. "It was my first visit, and I didn't know what to buy. It was actually a colleague's suggestion. Please forgive me if I was not thoughtful." Chapter 26. Mother-in-law meets son-in-law. Dai Fong was increasingly satisfied with her son-in-law. So what if he was a bit short? The key was his character. This son-in-law seemed steady and grounded, not arrogant or impatient. "Xiaozeng, eat more, make yourself at home. Don't be shy," Dai Fong said as she served him a piece of tender stewed rib. "Mom, he's grown up. He knows how to serve himself. How do you know what he likes?" Li Hong was unhappy that her mother was taking over her responsibilities. "This girl, teaching me a lesson. I like what you serve, Andy, thank you. I can serve myself." Zheng Fan quickly tried to smooth things over. "Xiaozeng, since you're here for the new year, your family has no objections, right?" Dai Fong ignored Li Hong's glare. Hearing this topic, Zheng Fan felt a bit heavy-hearted. "Uncle Andy, I'm an only child. My parents passed away 3 years ago. And my grandparents were gone before I even remember. I'm all alone. His eyes reddened slightly as he spoke. Oh, Xiaozeng. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. Don't be sad. It's okay. I've been spending the new year alone for the past 2 years. I've gotten used to it. If you don't mind, consider this place your home from now on. The meal ended in a somewhat somber atmosphere. After eating, the mother and daughter tidied up the table. Zhang Fan wanted to help, but was pulled by his future father-in-law to play chess instead. In the living room, they set up the chessboard and began their match. Both players were cautious, focusing on defense step by step, and after more than 10 moves, no pieces had crossed the river yet. While playing chess, they chatted. Li Wenming was quite confident in his chess skills. He was always a seed player in the chess competitions organized by the Education Bureau and had won several championships. He was also a respected referee at the local chess stands, rarely playing unless there were strong opponents. Today, he felt he had met his match. This young man was very calm, with tight defenses, making it hard to find an opening. Zhang Fan hadn't played chess in a long time, and his win rate had never been high, so he lacked confidence in his skills, thinking to please the old man by letting him win a couple of rounds. He was surprised to find the old man's level was quite poor, with many openings. The game was a test of skill, and it was clear that making it too obvious wouldn't be good, leaving Zhang Fan feeling a bit overwhelmed. This house has a layout of 3 bedrooms and 1 living room. The main bedroom is occupied by Li Wenming and his wife, while Li Hong stays in the second bedroom, and there is another room that has been turned into a study. After tidying up the dining table, Dai Fong went to her daughter's room to help pack her luggage, and the mother and daughter exchanged some private conversations. This little Zhang seems fine to me, quite stable. He is a few years older and knows how to care for others. You have good taste. Dai Fong commented. I told you not to mention his parents. Why did you bring it up again? It was so awkward just now. Li Hong complained. Alright, it's my fault. Have you two decided when to get married? You're not getting any younger. If you delay any longer, you'll be considered a high-risk pregnancy. Dai Fong shifted the topic. We've only known each other for half a year. There is no rush. Besides, he suddenly has money now. Who knows if he'll change? I don't want to rush into marriage as if I'm after his money. Li Hong said defiantly. Tests should have their limits. Don't go overboard. I've seen reports that there are hundreds of unmarried women in Yanjing. Now that he has money, who knows how many people are eyeing him? Dai Fong warned. You two have been together for a while. There haven't been any conflicts, right? Not really. He has a great temper. I've yelled at him a few times. But he never gets angry. He even tells me not to rush and to talk things out. Just don't take it too far. A good temper doesn't mean he doesn't have a temper, you know? Dai Fong advised. I know. We're going to your grandpa's house for the New Year's Eve dinner tomorrow. Bring 2 bottles of the wine you brought, and take those 2 packs of cigarettes to your grandpa. Your dad doesn't smoke. Honestly, why buy such expensive cigarettes? Oh, I didn't know. I was planning to buy some on my way back after the night shift, but who knew he had already bought some in advance? The mother and daughter continued to chat about various topics, with Li Hong discussing her work and matters regarding Zhang Fan, while Dai Fong talked about family matters, school, and various gossip from relatives and neighbors. In the living room, a chess game was coming to an end. After cleverly sacrificing a rook and a knight, Zhang Fan broke the stalemate, allowing Li Wenming to gain the upper hand. Li Wenming launched a major offensive, while Zhang Fan adeptly countered and ultimately lost the game. But it was a respectable defeat. You're quite good. My win in this game had a bit of luck involved. Let us play another game. I haven't had this much fun in a while. Having already proven his chess skills earlier, Zhang Fan didn't want to perform poorly in the subsequent games. After losing 2 more games to make his future father-in-law happy, he finally let Zhang Fan go and happily stepped outside for a stroll. At this point, the older couple had both left, and Li Hong was taking a nap in the bedroom. Zhang Fan, feeling bored, opened his phone to scroll through the news. He used to find reading the news more interesting than watching TV dramas when he had free time, but now it suddenly felt a bit dull. He re-downloaded a game he hadn't played in a long time, only to find that his rank had dropped to bronze. As he started playing again, he realized the experience was completely different. In the past, he was quite inexperienced. Reaching platinum was mostly due to occasional extraordinary performances. And achieving 3 or 5 consecutive wins was purely by chance, happening only a few times a month. Back then, during breaks, his colleagues would never invite him to play, thinking he was too inexperienced, which made him so angry that he uninstalled the game. After several consecutive wins, I reached the silver rank, and I performed exceptionally well in almost every game. I received a dozen friend requests, which rekindled my interest in the game. Just when I was having a great time playing, I got a message notification on WeChat. My friend Su Lu said, Zhang Fan, I need your help with something. In the crucial moment of pushing the tower, I quickly moved my character to a safe spot and replied, give me 5 minutes. After sending the message, I finished off the last tower, rallied my teammates to push the enemy crystal, and once again achieved a 5-man team wipe to end the battle, earning the MVP title for this match. Su Lu, what's the matter? I asked. Su Lu then sent a video request, and I accepted it. I've been scammed. That guy even secretly took photos and videos of me. Can you help me delete them? I was puzzled. How long has it been since this happened? And she asked, just now realizing it. You should report it to the police. They are more professional in handling this. After Su Lu explained, I finally understood that this was about someone else. Last month, a generous guy visited Su Lu's live stream and gifted her over 100,000 worth of gifts in just a month. After adding her on WeChat, he showered her with compliments and red envelopes, flaunting his wealth on social media. Then came the usual routine of meeting up in person, dining out, and booking hotel rooms. After the meetup, the guy might disappear or continue to be a regular in her live stream, occasionally meeting up again. However, this particular guy took an unusual route by secretly installing a camera in the hotel, capturing the entire process without her knowledge. After returning home, Su Lu received threats. Either pay 50,000 for a private settlement, or the videos would be posted online. She was worried that if she reported it, not only would the police catch the guy, but the videos might still end up online, ruining her reputation and her ability to livestream. If she didn't report it, she feared that the guy would demand more than 50,000, leading to endless harassment and further complications. When we hang up, send me any information you have about him, and I'll look into it. I'll let you know if I find anything, I said, based on the WeChat ID and phone number Su Lu provided. I quickly located the guy's position. He was in the Taiha Ligong Villa area near the airport. Soon, I found his recent Wi-Fi network, connected to his laptop and tablet, and discovered 5 other mobile phones he owned. By checking the creation dates, I searched for video and photo files on his devices and quickly found several hidden videos and hundreds of photos, all featuring Su Lu. I also examined the upload records on the cloud storage he used, and I found that there were only a few uploads from this morning. I looked into his internet browsing history and bookmarks, discovering dozens of frequently visited websites related to online gambling, loans, adult forums, dating sites, and adult live streams. I saved the URLs, cracked his login name and password, and checked several forums to confirm that Su Lu's video had not been posted online yet. By determining the IP address, I confirmed his residential address, which was a standalone villa with a blue BMW X5 in the garage. After further investigation into the villa owner and vehicle owner, it turns out the villa is rented. The vehicle registration clearly shows the individual in the photos, whose real name is Xie Bing. The surveillance system at the villa has detected 15 cameras, and upon reviewing the footage, it is confirmed that he returned at 9 this morning and hasn't left since. It seems he uploaded the video first, and then attempted to extort Su Lu. He should be sleeping now. Based on the license plate number, Zheng Fan easily traced Xie Bing's identity information, including his home address, work history, schools attended, properties owned, marital status, and children, among other details. He thoroughly deleted all videos and photos of Su Lu and erased all traces of the intrusion. He sent a WeChat message to Su Lu, informing her that the videos had been cleared. After a quick trip to the restroom, he entered Li Hong's bedroom, where she was still sound asleep. Just as he returned to the living room, Su Lu sent another video. So soon? Is everything cleared? Su Lu looked as if she had just finished showering, wrapped in a towel, with wet hair still unblown dry. The guy's real name should be Xie Bing, who rented a villa near the airport in Taiha Ligong and owns a BMW X5. Zheng Fan sent Su Lu several screenshots from the villa's surveillance. The identity information he found on Xie Bing, as well as information from 2 cloud storage accounts and several live streaming software accounts, along with some video file screenshots. It seems he used 3 cameras to secretly record, directly uploading the footage to his phone for storage, and hadn't had time to edit it. The original files were on the phone, and backups were made on a laptop and cloud storage, all of which have been cleared. With the information I sent you, he no longer has any leverage and should be too scared to extort you again. Zheng Fan, you're amazing. I love you. Su Lu exclaimed excitedly, kissing her phone in the video. Aren't you going home for the new year? Zheng Fan quickly changed the subject. We have flexible schedules, so there's no need to go home at this time. It's too crowded. Besides, the new year is a harvest season for us streamers. Alright then, once everything is settled, I wish you a happy new year, he said before hanging up. Seeing Zheng Fan hurriedly end the video call, Su Lu murmured to herself. Am I that scary? Not even willing to say a word more. Yes, indeed, he must be afraid of my irresistible charm. It must be. With her worries alleviated, Su Lu changed her clothes, put on makeup, and began her live stream for the day. She felt particularly good during the stream today, after singing 2 songs. The room's popularity quickly rose to 200,000. Half of the top 10 big spenders in the overall ranking also tuned in, which was impressive since usually only 2 or 3 would show up. Su Lu's streaming name is Proud Little Deer, and she is a music-type streamer who also dances a few simple routines and plays some popular games. To succeed as a streamer, having looks and talent isn't enough. One must also be able to chat, keep the live room lively, and interact positively with the audience, especially maintaining good relations with generous supporters. The competition in the streaming industry is fierce, with many streamers boasting looks and talent. Not every streamer can become popular. Most only manage to scrape by, and many more give up and exit the scene. Su Lu's hometown is in a rural area in northern Hunan. She left high school to work in the south with fellow villagers, doing various jobs such as assembling screws in factories, serving dishes in restaurants, selling clothes, and distributing flyers. Despite her hard work each year, she earned very little. In 2016, during the peak of live streaming popularity, encouraged by her peers, she invested heavily in professional streaming equipment and joined the trend. 3 years have passed in the blink of an eye. During these 3 years, she experienced both highs and lows, moments of joy and deep sadness. Traveling far and wide, she visited many cities and met all kinds of people. In a fleeting moment, Su Lu sang a unique song about the passage of time and, under the guidance of a senior, received a wave of gifts. The atmosphere in the live stream became lively again. This song resonates with me deeply. Such a melody should only exist in the heavens. How rare it is to hear on earth. A streamer with a story. I love you, Xiaolu. I'm not a great singer, but thank you to the big brothers for the gifts. Su Lu offered a few polite words. At that moment, a notification popped up in the live stream. Duke has no hope of entering the live stream. Su Lu's heart skipped a beat. How dare this guy come back? She instinctively welcomed him, saying, "Welcome, I hope you're well." This No Hope was the recent top contender on the overall, monthly, and weekly charts. Just this morning, he had broken up with her and extorted her using secretly recorded videos. Su Lu had just discovered that his real name was Xie Bing. She hurriedly grabbed her phone and ran to the bathroom to call him. "You despicable and shameless guy. How dare you come to my live stream?" "Xiaolu, you're turning on me too quickly. We just broke up a few hours ago." He replied, "I know your real name is Xie Bing, from Xinxiang, Hunan. You need to disappear from my live stream and delete all the secretly filmed videos and photos. I can pretend not to know about the extortion. But if you don't, I want to let you go." "Damn, you're something else, hiring hackers to invade my computer." Xie Bing realized something was wrong. The videos he had stored in his laptop had mysteriously disappeared. He checked several phones, and the cloud storage had completely erased all backups. "If those secret videos appear online, I will definitely report you. I have all your information. You can't escape." Su Lu continued her threats. "Fine, you win. I admit defeat." Xie Bing hung up and closed the live streaming software on his laptop. He meticulously checked his computer, phone, and cloud storage. Finding that aside from files related to Su Lu, everything else was intact, he let out a sigh of relief and collapsed onto his bed. Xie Bing considered himself a computer expert. He had put the tightest security on his devices, yet the opponent had effortlessly invaded everything. The most secret backup storage had been accessed. The method was terrifying. In front of the other person, he felt like a naked infant, completely exposed and defenseless. His phone rang, and when he saw who was calling, he threw it down in frustration. Damn online loans. Always pushing for payment. Get lost. Chapter 28. Online live streaming in the evening. Li Hong attended her high school classmates' 10-year reunion. With over 60 people in the class, more than 50 had reportedly signed up for the event, which was held at a restaurant near the school, reserving 7 tables. Due to the large number of attendees, no family members were allowed. After dinner, Zhang Fan accompanied the elderly couple to watch some television. After a bit of awkward small talk, he found it hard to keep the conversation going and made an excuse to slip into Li Hong's bedroom. He opened a live streaming app and saw that Su Lu was streaming normally, so there seemed to be no issues. He wondered what Xie Bing was up to and used a self-developed location software to check the guy's phone location. Out of 5 phones, only 1 was powered on, and it had surprisingly gone back to his hometown in Hunan province that afternoon. Zhang Fan hacked into his phone, activated the front camera, and shared the phone's screen. The guy was intently placing bets on something. On the phone, besides the betting window, there was a beautiful woman live streaming, dressed so revealingly and performing so provocatively that it was hard not to feel a sense of awe. No wonder someone with a 6-figure annual income would resort to extortion. With such a gambling setup, no amount of money would be enough. If it weren't for the fact that this guy was a first-time offender, Zhang Fan certainly wouldn't let him off the hook. A few months ago, Zhang Fan had taken down a batch of gambling websites. These people were truly impressive, having even developed mobile live streaming apps that stayed ahead of the times. His fingers itched again. If it weren't for Xie Bing looking for trouble, Zhang Fan might have forgotten he was still a hacker. He downloaded an app on his laptop, cracked the code for research. It was a simple live streaming client app with only a few dozen megabytes of content. It had basic interactive functions for sending gifts and could also participate in online betting, allowing users to watch live streams and gamble simultaneously without any issues. The server was located on the west coast of a certain country, and it was easy to crack. He first backed up the entire program for slow research, creating a regular account and a super admin account in the database. Besides the main server program, there were several client versions available for download from different websites, as well as live streaming software for hosts, a backend management program, an open-source database program, and other auxiliary programs. To his surprise, there were over 1,000 registered hosts, with most login addresses based domestically. The backend management accounts mostly logged in from a Southeast Asian island nation, while there were nearly 1 million ordinary player accounts, with over 20,000 VIP accounts that had made deposits. After checking Xie Bing's account, he found it was level 121, with a cumulative recharge of over 2 million, a withdrawal amount of 200,000, and a balance of less than 10,000. A perfect example of a big spender. There were actually hundreds of accounts in the database with levels over 100. This platform required a cumulative recharge of over 1 million or gifts to hosts exceeding 200,000 to reach level 100, making Zung Fan marvel at how many wealthy people there were. For such a niche gambling platform, its revenue likely surpassed many domestic live streaming services. The platform hosted several simple games like Keno, lottery, and racing, involving tasks like guessing high or low, total sums, zodiac numbers, and colors, with higher odds resulting in lower winning rates. After winning, the platform automatically deducted a 5% fee, returning the prize to the user's account. The most important rule is that each round of the draw lasts only 1 minute. In the first 50 seconds, players place their bets, and in the last 10 seconds, the server tallies all players' betting amounts, calculates the payout amounts for various game types, automatically excludes high-loss outcomes, and randomly generates the winning numbers, ensuring that the house always wins. It is said that the lottery draw procedures in the domestic market are not transparent, and compared to this draw process, they seem elementary. Of course, the platform does not simply aim to exploit players. Whenever profits accumulate to a certain amount and the total betting amount is not high, it also releases substantial bonuses to encourage betting. Draws occur every minute, 60 times an hour, and 1,440 times a day. Daily betting amounts reach tens of millions, and the platform's commission can be hundreds of thousands, not to mention the income from being the house. The server here only provides live streaming and game support. Although there is a recharge entry in the program, the flow of funds operates on a separate independent system. Players recharge through the channels provided by the platform, and after successfully transferring funds via certain platforms or bank cards, they must manually submit a request. Customer service personnel located in the suburbs of a certain Southeast Asian country will receive notifications in the backend management software and will manually add the corresponding amounts to players' accounts after verification. Players who win money are required to have a betting turnover that is double the withdrawal amount before they can process their withdrawal requests. The entire waiting time is significantly longer than recharging, with 2 hours being the basic operation time, and delays of 1 or 2 days are common. Tracking the management backend login address leads to an office building in the suburbs of a certain Southeast Asian capital. Through hacked surveillance cameras, a spacious hall can be seen, filled with numerous cubicles, where nearly 100 customer service personnel are focused on their computers. Tracking the access addresses of these computers reveals that these customer service agents manage hundreds of similar live streaming platforms simultaneously. Groups of 5 manage between 10 to 30 platforms each. Suddenly, the idea of hacking them loses its appeal for Zung Fan. Even if he were to rob all their funds, it would only delay them for a short time. Before long, they could start over again. Moreover, the people he sees are merely small players. Following the leads, he identifies a dozen key personnel and the true identities of a few core members. Zung Fan logs into the live streaming software with a newly registered account and enters the room where Xie Bing is broadcasting. The host, Kai Kai, is a beautiful woman with long black hair, fair skin, and an attractive figure. At this moment, her performance has concluded, and she has changed into a sexy tank top and extremely short shorts, interacting with visitors. Kai Kai, congratulations to Hope Big Brother for winning. Kai Kai, congratulations to Bowsy Big Brother for winning. Kai Kai, thank you, Hope Big Brother, for the super sports car. Kai Kai, Hope Big Brother, your luck is really good. You must have won 2 or 3 times today. Xie Bing remains focused, using the same username across all platforms without much hope. No hope. This is just the beginning. I'm still down by over 100. Kai Kai, Hope Big Brother, please add me on WeChat. I've sent you my card. There are exciting benefits, and we can chat or meet. Tourist 216502. Host, show us your chest. Tourist 329527. Host, show us your X. Kai Kai, if you want to see something, send gifts. To see the chest, send champagne. To see below, send 2 champagnes. Send a super sports car for more. There are amazing benefits, and we can arrange it. Zung Fan discovered that the new account name was randomly generated and could not be changed. And there was a requirement to recharge at least 50 yuan to unlock speaking privileges. This was easy, of course. He directly recharged himself with 100,000 yuan using the admin account, changed his username to Unlimited Potential, and re-entered the live room without any restrictions, instantly leveling up to level 20. In a short while, Xie Bing had already placed 4 or 5 bets without winning, and the money he just won was lost again. While the host Kai Kai cheered him on from behind, Zhang Fan placed a bet of 50,000 on a zodiac with odds of 11 to 1, immediately catching the host's attention. Kai Kai, unlimited potential, big brother, betting 50,000. Wishing you a win. If you want to get rich, place heavy bets. Take a chance and turn a bicycle into a motorcycle. Gamble a bit and turn a BMW into a Land Rover. In just a minute. Before the host could finish speaking, the prize was announced. Kai Kai, congratulations to unlimited potential for winning 522,500 yuan. Kai Kai, thank you. Unlimited potential for sending a dream castle worth 3,888 yuan. You're amazing, big brother. Ding dong, a notification. You have received the host's business card. You can add the host's private WeChat. Chapter 29 Class Reunion after continuously betting more than 10 times. With the smallest bet being 50,000 and the largest 200,000, Zhang Fan's account balance quickly exceeded 5 million. Every time he won, he sent a dream castle. At first, the host Kai Kai was excited, shouting loudly, but after several rounds, she became a bit numb. Mechanically congratulating the winners and thanking the big brother for sending gifts. The big gifts that had not been received in several days were now coming in continuously, with commissions exceeding the income of the previous month. When Zhang Fan won for the second time, Xie Bing followed suit and also increased his capital to more than 50,000. Whenever someone won more than 10,000 or sent big gifts to the host, there would be a global announcement. With Zhang Fan leading, the popularity of this live room soared, and many people came to start betting along. This was also due to a smart software he had just developed using a new algorithm specifically for this platform. The more chips it generated, the more accurate the interference with the platform's results. This new algorithm only won the money of other gamblers. But the algorithm targeting the platform's internal mechanisms could significantly reduce the platform's profits. The software used intelligent programming as its core, and as the number of bets increased, it would continue to evolve. After 100 mixed bets, the winning rate would exceed 80%, approaching a near-perfect winning rate. When the account balance exceeded 10 million, Zhang Fan had already sent 20 dream castles, and Xie Bing had won 200,000. He added Kai Kai's WeChat using a secondary account, exited the live room, and closed the program. Kai Kai, big brother, you're amazing. Do you want me to send you some benefits? Unlimited potential. What benefits? Kai Kai, it's a personal video of me. It's even more exciting than the live room. Zhang Fan's mind instantly flashed back to the exciting scenes from the live stream earlier. Potential infinite. Forget it. I'm afraid my account will get banned. You should be careful too. Kai Kai, you're so impressive. You must have no shortage of women in real life. It's normal not to be interested in me. Potential infinite. Aren't you worried about your family finding out about your streaming? Kai Kai, come on. It's not like I want to do this. Who would willingly choose this? Society laughs at the poor, but not at those in this line of work. Potential infinite. I'll give you a software, follow it to place bets. The win rate is over 80. Kai Kai, really? Potential infinite. The software has restrictions. It can only be installed once. If you win a certain amount, it will automatically uninstall. After it uninstalls, you can't gamble again. Otherwise, you're on your own. Kai Kai, no problem. I will make it happen. Potential infinite. After the software uninstalls, there will be a backup you can share with 2 strangers you haven't met in real life. Kai Kai, can I sell it? Potential infinite. That's up to you. I've sent you the software. Goodbye. Li Hong's class reunion was held at a restaurant near their high school, less than a kilometer away by foot. Estimating it was about time, Zhang Fan went out to pick her up. Tomorrow was New Year's Eve, and the sound of fireworks occasionally echoed through the night sky. Since it was only a short walk, Zhang Fan didn't take a taxi or call a ride-hailing service. He walked over. Upon arriving at the restaurant and asking the waiter, he found out the reunion hadn't ended yet, so he sat down on the side steps outside to wait. Inside, the gathering was nearing its end. Most toasts had been made, and those with other commitments had left early. Now, it was just a casual chat among those who were closer, trying to make up for regrets from the past. Among the classmates, 3 couples had formed, and the class monitor and study committee member had become the center of everyone's teasing, surrounded by the most people. During their 3 years of high school, Li Hong only interacted closely with 3 or 5 female classmates, focusing entirely on her studies at the time. She didn't wear makeup or dress up, and her grades weren't outstanding, so her influence among classmates was quite limited. After meeting today, more than half of the classmates couldn't even remember her name, showing just how inconspicuous she was back then. Many male classmates secretly regretted their past blindness, having missed out on this stunning beauty. Now, Li Hong's figure and appearance hadn't changed much compared to back then. At her current age, she could easily pass for someone in their 20s, and standing among many female classmates, her understated presence made her the most eye-catching one without trying. Several male classmates, thinking they were quite successful, approached her, but Li Hong politely deflected their advances. In the end, only Zhang Biao, who worked in the district police's criminal investigation unit, remained, trying to strike up a conversation while slightly tipsy. Li Hong, I even wrote you a love letter back then. You were my secret crush. Zhang Biao, how many love letters did you write? Do you still have the one you wrote to me? Should I share it in the group for a show and tell? A female classmate joked. Sure, Biaozi, love letters that come with mass distribution. Another male classmate chimed in. You all stop interrupting. I initially wrote to Li Hong, and when she didn't respond, I reached out to others. That shows you aren't sincere. Look at the class monitor, who pursued our study committee member for 3 years in high school and 4 years in college before finally succeeding. Another male classmate chimed in. Exactly. A group of people around started to cheer. Hey, I said, you guys don't understand the feelings of those who are hungry when you're all well fed. It seems like either you're all married with kids or in relationships. Can you show a bit of sympathy? But you need to target the right person. Li Hong has a boyfriend, and there are several single girls in our class. You should approach them. Li Hong's closest friend tried to ease the tension. This left Zhang Biao speechless. He couldn't just say he found them unattractive. At that moment, the class monitor stood up. Everyone, quiet down. Let me speak. Classmates, it's getting late, and we've eaten and drunk enough. All good things must come to an end. Let us disperse now, and let us keep in touch in the group. The study committee member chimed in. The bill has been settled. I'll upload the invoice to the group file. I'll send a few lucky draw red envelopes for the remaining funds. And remember, each person can only grab once. Got it. Got it. Got it. Anyone who dares to grab more will be dealt with by Zhang Biao. Li Hong came out of the restroom, and most of the classmates had already left. Upon exiting the restaurant, she saw a familiar figure waiting for her, filling her heart with a sense of happiness. How long have you been waiting? Not long. Maybe 10 minutes. Let us go. The two walked back along the pedestrian path beside the road. Creak. A black car stopped in front of them. And Zhang Biao got out. Li Hong, this must be your boyfriend. Hello, I'm Zhang Biao, the fierce one, a classmate of Li Hong from high school. Zhang Biao said as he reached out to shake hands with Zheng Fan. Hello, I'm Zheng Fan, the ordinary one. He shook firmly with one hand, but found Zheng Fan unfazed, so he reluctantly let go. Haha, why didn't you drive? Get in, I'll give you a ride. Li Hong replied unhappily. Zhang Biao, you drank a lot earlier, didn't you? You're a police officer. This is illegal behavior. Oh come on. ISNT their automatic driving? Alright. I was wrong. Let us pretend I didn't see you. Bye? Zhang Biao awkwardly got back in his car and drove off. Chapter 30 New Year's Eve. Less than 20 kilometers north of Miyun County, there's a small village called Nujiu by a reservoir, where Li Hong's grandparents and uncle's family live. On the morning of the 30th, after breakfast, Li Hong drove back here with Zheng Fan and her parents. Although Li Hong grew up in the county town, she spent many winter and summer vacations here, and this small village holds many wonderful childhood memories for her. Over the years, many luxurious villa areas and resorts have been built near Miyun Reservoir. The small, closed-off village has also benefited, with many residents finding work right at their doorsteps, leading to a general increase in prosperity among the villagers. At Grandpa's house, there are 5 red brick tile-roofed rooms that have been built for over 20 years. Back then, Uncle's family lived here along with Grandpa and Grandma, and most of Li Hong's childhood memories come from this place. Later, Uncle's son got married and built a new house elsewhere, and they have long since moved out. In the southwest corner of the yard, there is a simple toilet, and to the north, there is a pig pen with 2 pigs lying lazily in the sun. Behind the pig pen is a large chicken coop, which is now empty. Further north is a small cellar where winter vegetables like potatoes, radishes, and cabbages are stored. The yellow earth floor of the yard is level and clean. When the Volvo drove in, there were already 2 cars parked in the yard, and 3 cars parked side by side did not make the yard feel crowded. Li Wenming has 6 siblings. He is the second child, with an older brother, 2 younger brothers, and 2 younger sisters. The brothers are named according to their birth order: Li Wenguang, Li Wenming, Li Wenzheng, and Li Wendai, while the 2 sisters are named Li Wenmei and Li Wenli. The eldest has been a farmer all his life, while the other siblings have left the village to establish their families and careers elsewhere. Hearing the sound of the car, Li Wenguang came out of the house. Second brother, we've been waiting for you. The 3rd and 4th families are already here. Happy New Year, Uncle. Oh, isn't this Hong Hong? Happy New Year. You haven't come back for the new year in years. Is this your partner? Nice to meet you. I'm Hong Hong's uncle. Hello, uncle. My name is Zheng Fan. Nice young man. Come on in. Upon entering the house, there is a living room formed by 2 connected rooms. In the western half of the living room, there is a set of combined sofas surrounding a coffee table. And across from the sofa on the west wall hangs a 70-inch LCD TV, which is currently broadcasting a New Year's program. To the north of the TV wall is a corridor leading to 2 bedrooms. In the eastern half of the living room, there is a rectangular dining table made by combining 3 square tables, already set with several cold dishes, fruits, seeds, and various snacks. The eastern room is the bedroom of the elderly couple, divided into 2 rooms, with a large kong, a traditional heated bed, in the south and a kitchen in the north equipped with a gas stove and various cooking utensils. The living room feels full of people, Li Hong's grandparents, who are nearly 80, are busy preparing food for their children and grandchildren, enjoying themselves in the process. Li Wenguang's wife, who is nearly 60, is helping her in-laws. Li Wenguang's two sons are both married, each with a boy and a girl. The eldest already in high school and the youngest in second grade. Their extended family, spanning 3 generations, consists of 10 members. Li Wenjung has only one daughter who hasn't come home this year, but the couple has returned. Li Wendai has a son and a daughter, and the couple, along with their son and daughter-in-law, have brought back their 8-year-old grandson and 7-year-old granddaughter. With more than 20 adults and children, the house is filled to capacity. After greeting each other, the elders sit in a circle around the sofa. The younger generation sits in a circle at the dining table on plastic stools, and the children run over to sit on the kong, each chatting and playing in their own way, creating a lively and bustling atmosphere. Li Wenguang's eldest son, Li Changshan, is already 41 this year. He and his wife run a farmhouse by the reservoir, earning a considerable income each year. The younger son, Li Changshui, is 35 and works as a security manager at a nearby village club, where his wife, Yang Xiaona, also works. Li Wenjung graduated from a chemical university in Beijing and stayed on as a teacher. Their only daughter, Li Yun, was admitted to a university in Pingcheng, and after graduation, she settled down there, rarely coming back even once a year. Li Wendo worked in the county government after graduation, but later ventured into business, opening a trade company in the city of Miyun, which is somewhat average in comparison to others. Li Wenda's son, Li Changle, is 31 years old and has followed in his father's footsteps, currently serving as the deputy general manager of the trade company. His wife, Sun Feifei, works at an agricultural bank. This group of so-called young people is no longer young, with the youngest, Sun Feifei, turning 28 after the new year. Among them, Li Changle is the most active in business, munching on sunflower seeds while asking, Zeng Fan, there aren't many people with the surname Zeng. I only know a famous person, Zeng Guofan, who seems to be from Hunan. Hey, does your family have any relation to Zeng Guofan? Our family has lived in northern Hebei for several generations. All poor farmers. As far as I know, we probably can't claim any relation. Then what do you do now? My sister has always had high standards. If she has taken a liking to you, you must have something extraordinary. Li Changle, is that how you talk about your own sister? Can you even compare yourself to her? Li Hong and Li Changle have been playfully fighting since childhood, always treating each other equally, throwing an orange at each other. You don't even treat me like your brother. Why should I compare myself to you? Look, she's even using her hands. You two are grown adults. And you're still squabbling. Li Changshan stopped the two from fooling around and turned to ask, are you a colleague of Hong Hong? You look like a doctor. Which department are you in? I'm not a doctor. I'm a programmer, writing code. Zeng Fan explained. Oh, I see. You're in IT. That's a hot industry now. People like Li Yanhong, Ma Ali, and Ma Kuku all made their fortunes in this. Hey, big brother, don't be misinformed. Ma Ali isn't a programmer. He used to be an English teacher. Li Changle displayed his knowledge. Ah, it's all the same. Their companies also need programmers to do the work. Which company do you work for? I work at a small company. It's not very well known. From what you're saying, it must be somewhat known. Go on. Tell us. Maybe we've heard of it. How much can you spend in a month? I've heard that programmers' salaries start from 20 to 30,000. Are you done? Are we interrogating someone here? Li Hong interrupted the barrage of questions. Li Hong, we're just chatting among the guys. Don't meddle. Li Changle urged. Li Changshui, who had been silent, spoke up. Old third, don't look down on others. Did you see the car in the yard? It starts at 500,000. How much do you think they earn in a year? How do you know it's not on a mortgage? I could afford to buy one too. You're just being contrary. Dad, my phone is broken again. Can you get me a new one? Li Changle's son, Li Ziheo, ran out from the back room. What are you changing? This is a fruit phone. The best phone ever. He exclaimed. But it can't even run the cute rabbit app. I want a phone like Zishuan's. Chapter 31. Family gathering. Li Changle scolded his son. You silly boy. You could buy 3 of those with the price of this phone. No. I want a phone like Zishuan's. Little Li Ziheo was determined to get what he wanted. Zeng Fan took the phone, looked at it, and realized that it was just overloaded with too many apps. After turning it off and restarting, it was fine. All right, your Uncle Zeng has fixed the phone. Take it and play. No fuss. Don't think just because it's the new year I want to discipline you. Li Changle shoved the phone into his son's hands, threatening him. The child ultimately yielded to his father and went off to play with the phone. Kids these days are something else. They can't even recognize many characters, but play with phones better than I do. Li Changle sighed. Big brother, your Zilong is taking the college entrance exam this year, right? Which university is he planning to apply to? Li Changshan expressed his worries. Sigh, he has not cut out for studying. If he can make it to a good university, I'll be grateful. Zeng Fan, which school did you graduate from? From the technical school in our county. Haha. I'm from a vocational school, so we're about the same. Li Changshui pulled out a deck of playing cards. Chatting is boring. Let us play some landlord. How can 4 people play? Li Changle questioned. Zhang Fan quickly clarified. You all play. I'll just watch. You've come from afar. How can we let you just watch? Let us play some flower poker. You know how to play, right? A little. Even if you don't know, it's just 3 cards. You'll get the hang of it after a few rounds. Thus, the 4 started playing poker with a base bet of $10. Raising it by 10, capped at 100. Zhang Fan hadn't played much of this game. He kept his distance from all gambling games. In the past, he avoided playing for fear of losing money, and gradually no one invited him to play anymore. Now, he felt indifferent. Even losing tens of thousands wouldn't make him frown, especially since he knew that with just a little focus, he wouldn't lose. Although he still couldn't clearly sense everyone's thoughts, he was sensitive to the size of the cards. Adhering to his usual low-profile approach, Zhang Fan maintained a no-win, no-lose status, staying under the radar. Li Changshui was clearly an experienced player, bold and meticulous, always winning. Li Changel relied on luck when he had good cards. He played confidently, not afraid of anyone, betting heavily, and he could lose quickly but win just as fast. Li Changshan was cautious, even with a good hand. He often got scared off, resulting in more losses than wins. Li Hong, meanwhile, was being pulled by her 2 sisters-in-law, asking questions. The eldest sister-in-law went to the kitchen to help cook, occasionally coming out to join the conversation. On the sofa, the 4 brothers were drinking tea, watching TV, chatting casually. While the sisters-in-law appeared to be having a warm conversation, their topics revolving around husbands, children, and family. It was Li Changel's turn to deal the cards. After looking at his hand, Li Changshan immediately folded. Li Changshui looked at his cards and threw in 20. Zhang Fan followed with 20, while Li Changel tossed in 50. Li Changshui matched it, and Zhang Fan folded. After that, he went outside to the southwest corner of the yard to relieve himself. Standing in the yard, I looked up at the sky. It was sunny and clear, with the sun already past noon. As soon as I entered the house, Li Changel shouted, Zhang Fan, hurry up. We're just waiting for you to start the game. I'm here. Guess how much I won just now? 220. It's not easy to win money from Ergo. All right, you all stop playing, clean up the table, it's time to eat. The old man called out. The dishes were plentiful, filling the table to the brim. Roast chicken, roasted duck, braised pork knuckles, braised ribs, stewed fish, stewed lamb, stewed beef, red braised pork, sweet and sour fish, sweet and sour tenderloin, candied yam, for happiness meatballs, Beijing-style shredded pork, spicy boiled meat slices, stir-fried garlic shoots with meat, shiitake mushrooms with vegetables, vinegar sautéed shredded potatoes, and so much more. The table was quite long, so to accommodate people on both ends, many dishes were prepared in double portions, with one on each end. More than 20 men, women, and children surrounded the table tightly. A few small children couldn't find stools to sit on and had to sit with their mothers. The old man announced that no one was allowed to drink alcohol today. Everyone should drink beverages or milk instead. Alcohol isn't a good thing. High blood pressure, heart disease, myocardial infarction, and cerebral thrombosis all come from drinking. Starting today, I'm abstaining from alcohol, and I advise you all to drink less too. The 4 sons didn't dare to oppose their father, but one of the grandsons piped up, Grandpa, so you've been drinking all your life, and now that you want to be healthy, you want us to join in. How can you talk to your grandpa like that? Not letting you drink is for your own good. Li Wen reprimanded. As for me, when you're at my place, no alcohol is allowed. You can drink however you like outside. Whether it's beverages or milk, let us raise our glasses. Today is New Year's Eve, and we hope you all have harmonious marriages and your lives get better day by day. Kids, study hard and make progress every day. My great-grandson Zilong, aim for a good school in this year's college entrance exam. That's all I have to say. Let us eat. Thank you, great-grandpa. We appreciate your good wishes. Zilong thanked from across the table. Everyone raised their glasses and shouted in a chaotic chorus, wishing our parents a happy spring festival, good health, and all the best. Wishing our grandparents a happy spring festival, good health, and all the best. Wishing our great-grandparents a happy spring festival, good health, and all the best. The old couple sat at the north end of the long table, with Zhang Fan and Li Hong at the front of the east side, followed by Li Changshan and his wife, Li Changshui and his wife, and Li Changel and his wife. On the west side were Li Wenguang and his wife, Li Wenming and his wife, Li Wenzheng and his wife, and Li Wenda and his wife. At the south end were Changshan's son and daughter, Zilong and Zifeng, and Changshui's eldest daughter, Zixue, squeezed in. Changshui's son, Zixuan, and Changel's son, Zihua, sat with their mother, while Changel's daughter, Ziru, sat with their grandmother. Although the large family was tightly packed around the table, the atmosphere was warm and cheerful as they enjoyed drinks, eating, and chatting. First, the eldest son, Li Wenguang, and his wife stood up to toast the old couple, of course with beverages in place of alcohol. Then, Li Wenming and his wife raised their glasses and stood up, followed closely by Zhang Fan and Li Hong. After them, Li Wenzheng and his wife, and then Li Wenda's family took turns to toast. After the 4 families finished their toasts, the elders spoke up. As long as the cinnamon is there, just enjoy the meal. The dishes will get cold soon. So let us chat after we eat. Zhang Fan was sitting next to Li Hong's grandmother, with a plate of shredded potatoes, vegetarian cabbage, and other vegetable dishes in front of him. He wasn't picky about food and just took whatever was convenient. Young man, don't be shy, take what you want. Li Hong's grandmother served him a few pieces of beef. Thank you, Grandma. You don't have to take care of me. I can eat anything. Don't mind him. Look at him. He seems to be lacking meat. Li Hong chimed in. All right, then I won't worry about him. Hong Hong, take good care of little Zhang. Without drinking alcohol, the meal went quickly. After finishing, there were still plenty of dishes left on the table. They hurriedly cleared the table, cleaned it up, and brought out tea, snacks, and candies again. Everyone returned to their previous state. The elderly couple, tired from a busy morning, went to take a nap on the calm, while the younger ones took fireworks outside to play. Li Hong was pulled by her 3 sisters-in-law to play mahjong, while Zhang Fan continued playing a card game with a few new friends. This round of games lasted until 5 in the afternoon. Zhang Fan tried to keep a low profile, but his skills were evident, and he ended up winning over 200. Li Changshui was the biggest winner, taking home over 1,000, while Li Changshan lost 500, and Li Changel lost over 700. After the card games wrapped up, everyone started preparing to make dumplings. Chapter 32. New Year's Eve conversations. The dough for the dumplings had already been prepared in the afternoon. The meat fillings were also mixed well: beef with carrots, lamb with cilantro, pork with scallions, and chives with eggs. 4 bowls of dumpling fillings. Zhang Fan, Li Changshan, Li Changshui, and Li Changel formed a group responsible for rolling the dough, while a group of women took care of wrapping the dumplings. With many hands, they wrapped the dumplings quickly. Zifeng and Zishui, still in middle school, were also wrapping dumplings skillfully, keeping pace with the adults. For large round covers were filled with dumplings. And Li Zilong led a few kids to tend the fire. A big pot of water was just about to boil. Time to cook the dumplings. Li Zihai shouted, following closely behind his father's footsteps. Li Changshan and Li Changshui took Zhang Fan outside to set off firecrackers. And the little ones who had just been tending the fire followed them out as well. Each person carried 2 boxes of firecrackers to the courtyard entrance. They opened the boxes, took out plate after plate of firecrackers, removed the plastic wrapping, and spread them out in a line at the entrance. Before long, the wide entrance was covered with a layer of firecrackers. Li Changshan pulled out a cigarette, took a couple of puffs, and handed it to his son. Zilong, you light it. You have the college entrance exam next year, so aim for good grades. The firecrackers were lit, and a few people stood in the courtyard, watching as the firecrackers went off with a loud bang, producing a thick cloud of blue smoke that filled the entrance. The children covered their ears and shouted excitedly. The sound of firecrackers continued for about 10 minutes, and once they finished, everyone went inside to eat dumplings. Li Hong's grandmother announced that each type of dumpling filling had a 50-cent coin wrapped inside. Whoever found it would receive a big red envelope for good luck in the coming year. Everyone had a hearty lunch and wasn't too hungry at that moment. But everyone still needed to eat a few dumplings for good luck. Li Zilong quickly found a coin in the beef dumplings, and everyone cheered, receiving the first lucky red envelope. The coin from the lamb dumplings was found by Li Wenjung, who also received warm wishes and got a red envelope for his elderly mother. The youngest, Li Ziru, didn't want to eat but was coaxed by her mother, Sun Feifei, to have a few pork and scallion dumplings, and she ended up finding a coin, earning a big red envelope for her great-grandmother. The last coin remained unfound, and Li Hong had a few leftover dumplings she couldn't finish. Seeing that Zhang Fan had finished his, she offered him the rest, and surprisingly, the last dumpling contained the final coin. The old lady happily gave him the last big red envelope, but Zhang Fan was hesitant to accept it. Li Hong shot him a glare. Just take it. You're lucky. When you and Hong Hong get married, Grandma will give you an even bigger red envelope. The old lady then pulled out a few smaller red envelopes, distributing one to each child. This is a birthday red envelope from your great-grandparents. Make sure to keep it safe. Thank you, great-grandma. Thank you, great-grandma. After finishing the dumplings, everyone chatted for a while. It was getting late, so Li Wenming, Li Wenjung, and brother Li Wenda said their goodbyes to their parents. After some polite exchanges, the large group accompanied them to the yard. The elderly couple and Li Wenguang waved goodbye as 3 cars drove out of the yard. Dad, Mom, let's go back inside. The Spring Festival Gala is about to start, Li Wenguang urged. On the way back, Zhang Fan, sitting in the passenger seat, opened the red envelope and saw 666 yuan in brand new bills, 6 100 yuan notes, 3 20 yuan notes, 1 5 yuan note, and 1 1 yuan note, which made a delightful sound when shaken. Today I struck it rich, free food and drinks plus a bonus. How can I accept this? Just take it, don't be shy. The old couple has money, and their 4 sons and 2 daughters give them money every year. They have plenty to spend. Li Hong had become more experienced at driving and was no longer as nervous as at the beginning. If you really feel shy, help me with something. What is it? How much cash do you have in your account now? Over 4 million, about 480,000. After the new year, Go to the agricultural bank where Sun Feifei works and buy a 1 million fixed deposit certificate. Let her handle the rest. How much do they need? It's okay to buy it all. I don't spend much of my salary. Now my monthly salary plus various bonuses and overtime is over 100,000. Most of it can be saved. That's not necessary. She can manage on her own without you. Their trading company has an annual turnover of over 10 million. The car returned to Li Hong's neighborhood. It was New Year's Eve, and no one intended to stay up late. After watching the Spring Festival Gala for a while, Li Wanming and his wife went to bed. Zheng Fan and Li Hong also returned to their bedroom to prepare for sleep. After laying out the bedding, Li Hong said to Zheng Fan, who was undressing, "Today Su Lu called me and specifically asked me to thank you. Just a small favor, not worth mentioning." Zheng Fan waved his hand and crawled into bed. "But you're not wearing any clothes. Sleeping naked is beneficial for both body and mind. What are you shy about? Old couple. Pervert." After a long time, Zheng Fan asked, "Li Hong, how about you working at a bank? I'm majoring in nursing, not finance." "How could I work at a bank?" Li Hong replied, puzzled. "Just now, President Wu called me to wish me a happy new year. I asked him about it. You graduated from a regular university with a bachelor's degree, and you passed the English Level 6 exam. You completely meet the qualifications. They have training spots available every year. You just need to learn a bit, and he can arrange it. Why do you suddenly want me to work at a bank? I see you working so hard every day, and you even have to work night shifts sometimes. Banking is a bit easier, right? I'm not going. If I go to the bank, I have to start from scratch, and besides, I don't like counting money all day. Actually, I can support you even if you don't work. Why work so hard? And then when I grow old and unattractive, you'll go find someone younger, right? How could that be? Am I that kind of person? You watch too much TV. I'll be promoted to head nurse next year, and then I won't have to work night shifts. It should be much easier. All right then, as long as you're happy." Zheng Fan pulled the blanket and prepared to sleep. On the third day of the new year, it was my last day off. Su Lu invited us to her home. She wants to cook for us to show her appreciation. I already said it's just a small favor. If you want to go, let's go. I don't mind. Li Hong lay beside Zheng Fan, her hand trailing down his chest, over his abdomen, and suddenly grabbed him. "Are you really indifferent? Don't all men like women like her? That's just a natural response." "I don't care if it's a natural response. You must restrain yourself around Su Lu. Her situation is quite complicated. Don't worry. I only indulge for you. I hope you mean what you say." Fireworks erupted in the distance, welcoming the new year. Chapter 33 Three Best Friends. On the first day of the Lunar New Year, Li Hong's home was bustling. Li Wanming and Dai Feng had been teachers for over 30 years, and many colleagues and well-connected students who had received assistance came to pay their New Year's greetings. The tea was brewed repeatedly, and sunflower seeds and fruit peels were scattered all over the floor, with no time to clean up. At noon, Li Hong took Zheng Fan to a gathering with her two best friends, Wang Dandan and Lu Chunna. The three had been classmates since elementary school through high school. Li Hong was a bridesmaid for both Wang Dandan and Lu Chunna at their weddings, and they shared a close bond. The three friends had made an early promise to be good friends for life. After graduating from high school, they attended different universities. Wang Dandan, with the best grades, was admitted to a university majoring in international economics and trade. Li Hong studied nursing at a traditional Chinese medicine university, while Lu Chunna went to a normal university, each embarking on different life paths. After completing her undergraduate studies, Wang Dandan continued to pursue a master's degree at her university. After graduation, she took a civil service exam and entered the Ministry of Commerce, where she is now a deputy division chief. Lu Chunna returned to teach right after graduation, married Shi Deming that year, and now they have two lovely daughters. Their gathering took place at Sunshine Garden Community, where Lu Chunna and her husband bought a house on a mortgage last year. On the way, Li Hong briefly introduced two of her close friends' past experiences to Zheng Fan. Wang Dandan's husband is Lu Ho, who works at a certain enterprise and seems to be a department manager, while Lu Chunna's husband is Shi Deming, who works in the traffic police department. Do they drink? What do you think? One is from a state-owned enterprise, and the other from the public security sector. How can they build good relationships without drinking? Not everyone is like you. Li Hong shot him a glance. I said in advance, I don't drink. Nobody will force you to drink if you don't want to. At the entrance of the community, they happened to run into Wang Dandan and her husband, greeted each other, and went upstairs together. Zheng Fan, I've heard Li Hong talk about you for a long time, but we never had the chance to get together. Wang Dandan greeted warmly. Your company has been quite popular lately. It seems like you're making headlines every few days. I heard several foreign car companies are negotiating with you to introduce the autonomous driving system you developed. Yes, that is true, but the negotiations aren't going very smoothly. I'm not too clear on the details. There are dedicated people in charge of that. We just handle the technical implementation. Zheng Fan explained. Lu Ho interjected. Regardless, you are bringing glory to the country. It's not often that foreigners seek us for technology. We should have a good drink later. Lu Ho said. I don't drink. I can join you with some beverages. I'll toast to you later. It's all the same. Drinking less is better for your health. I really envy you, but we're just people in the world. We don't have much choice. Lu Ho sighed. When they reached upstairs, Lu Chunna and her husband had already prepared the food and drinks, waiting for them to start. After some polite exchanges, everyone sat down, with the women on one side and the men on the other. The host, Lu Chunna, raised her glass for the first toast. Let us celebrate the friendship of our three sisters for over 20 years. The six of them raised their glasses. But only Zhang Fan held up a cup of tea to join in. They took a sip of alcohol, ate some food, then took another sip and ate again. The three women reminisced about the past. Wang Dandan recalled, the last time we were all together was at my wedding. It's been 4 or 5 years already, right? Li Hong remembered that day vividly. You got married at the end of 2014. It's been over 4 years. It snowed heavily that day, and we were freezing in our bridesmaid dresses. Lu Chunna empathized. Exactly. I asked you to bring our down jackets, but you forgot, and we were freezing. Li Hong, when are you and Zhang Fan getting married? You can't delay it any longer. If you keep postponing, you'll be 30. Wang Dandan said. Li Hong is quite discerning. She's waiting for a good husband. Good things are worth the wait. Lu Chunna added. Yes, I really envy her. She doesn't have to worry about mortgage or car loans. Li Hong replied. Don't just talk about me, Dandan. You've been a deputy director for 2 years now, right? You'll be getting promoted soon. Wang Dandan smiled wryly. It's not that easy. Now they require 2 years of grassroots work experience. I regret not having a child in the past 2 years. If I went down now, it would definitely be temporary. Lu Chunna comforted her. You can't have everything sweet at both ends. Kids are more important. Waiting a few more years for a promotion isn't a big deal. Li Hong said. Among us three, Chunna is the most clear-headed. She has planned everything out since she was young. By the way, I didn't see your 2 kids today. Lu Chunna, I'm at my mother-in-law's house. I've been close to my grandparents since I was little. Our place feels like an inn. The men have different work experiences, and there aren't many shared memories. So we can only find topics we all find interesting to talk about. Lu Hosien started the conversation. Brother Sher is a traffic police officer. Why don't you tell us when autonomous driving will be legally allowed on the roads? There are so many people driving without holding the steering wheel these days. We can't catch them all, and even if we do, it's hard to clarify the situation. They just refuse to admit it, and there's nothing we can do. It's not like drunk driving, where a simple breath test can tell you if someone has been drinking. We all hope it becomes legal soon, Sher Deming said with frustration. In this regard, Zhang Fan actually knows some insider information. It should be soon. Relevant departments are working on the regulations, and they will pass them at the conference after the new year. Brother Zhang, is this news reliable? Sher Deming seemed a bit skeptical. The major domestic automakers are about to launch cars equipped with autonomous driving technology. I heard from our company's negotiation head, Mr. Su, that they had a coordination meeting with several major car companies at the Transportation Committee before the new year to finalize this matter. That's when they signed a contract with our company. If the legislation passes soon, it's a good thing. It can reduce a lot of traffic accidents. And in the future, we need to find a designated driver after drinking. Lu Ho believed Zhang Fan's words. This is a fact. Currently, it's conservatively estimated that there are over 10 million vehicles modified for autonomous driving in the country, and the reported accidents are only a handful. Mostly due to other causes, not system failures or violations by others. Sher Deming agreed. Traffic police will have a much easier job in the future. Lu Ho raised his glass. Brother Zhang, we should toast to you. You are not only bringing glory to the country, but also making a significant contribution to all of humanity. Zhang Fan didn't know how to respond. He didn't feel that great, and certainly couldn't admit that it was all his own idea. This is a commercial endeavor for the company, and we received a substantial amount in licensing fees. That's what you deserve. The technology is leading the way. Isn't that Qualcomm from a certain country? They charge a 5 royalty on every phone. If you don't pay, you can't sell your phone. They are that bold. Brother Zhang will be making a fortune in the future. Your company has limitless potential, and you are one of the founding members. Once the company goes public, you'll definitely be a billionaire. Sher Deming said enviously. The meal lasted over 2 hours, filled with conversation. After dinner, the group went to a nearby KTV, where Sher Deming had already reserved a private room. As soon as they entered the room, Wang Dandan and Lu Chunna grabbed the microphone and sang a duet of Beautiful Myth. Then Lu Chunna performed Once Hurt, as if she had truly experienced a heart-wrenching romance. Li Hong sang Angel's Wings, which was both beautiful and melancholic. Lu Ho, who was good at livening up the atmosphere, picked Little Apple, singing and dancing. And he encouraged everyone to join in. The atmosphere in the room became lively. Except for Zhang Fan, who couldn't sing at all. Everyone performed their best songs. Wang Dandan's high notes were exceptional, and her rendition of Heavenly Road was on par with Han Hong. Time flew by as they sang and danced until it was dark outside. The 3 women reluctantly said their goodbyes, promising to keep in touch and meet more often in the future. Then they took their husbands and boyfriends home. Chapter 34. Travel blogger. On the second day of the Lunar New Year, Li Hong drove Zheng Fan and her parents to her grandmother's house. Their destination was a small village called Daijiago near Wuling Mountain in the northernmost part of a certain area. This place was quite remote, but fortunately, a road had been built, allowing direct access by car. Li Hong's mother, Dai Fong, was born and raised here, which was over 40 years ago. Dai Fong was the eldest in her family, with 2 younger brothers and a sister. The eldest brother, Dai Wu, joined the army in 1986 and served in Yunnan, later settling down there. Her sister, Dai Hua, was admitted to a university and after graduating, was assigned to work at a steel company, marrying and having children in a nearby district. The youngest brother, Dai Shan, struggled with studies and stayed at home after graduating from middle school, helping their parents with farming and odd jobs. Eventually, he bought a small truck to sell local products and bring things back to sell, and his life was going quite well. It was rare for the whole family to gather today, as all 4 siblings returned to visit their parents. Dai Shan's family had built a 2-story small house, where the elderly couple lived on the first floor and Dai Shan and his wife lived on the second. To accommodate the elderly couple's habits, they had specially built a heated kong, a traditional heated bed, in the house, though it couldn't be heated by fire. Instead, it had underfloor heating. A large group of people sat around the kong chatting with the elderly couple, who were all smiles. Dai Shan's 2 sons were already married and had built their own homes, and today they also brought their children and wives back to visit. Dai Wu and Dai Hua's families also had only daughters. Dai Hua's daughter, Zhang Shuping, who was 25 years old, came back today as well. Zhang Shuping studied media in college and worked at a television station for 2 years, but has since resigned. She is said to be a travel blogger now. The topics of conversation among the elderly were uninteresting to the younger crowd, so Zhang Shuping and Zheng Fan, along with Li Hong, sat in the living room. Cousin, are you still a nurse? That job is so tiring. Why don't you just quit and come work with me? The future belongs to social media. We can travel everywhere, make videos, write articles, and earn money while having fun. It's not safe for a girl to travel alone. Why would you give up a good job at a television station to do that? Li Hong was dismissive of her cousin's rebellious attitude. Zhang Shuping was not surprised by her cousin's response and quickly changed the subject. Brother-in-law, what do you do for a living? You must be quite wealthy with the car you drive. Li Hong reminded her, don't call him brother-in-law. We haven't gotten married yet. That's just a matter of time. I'm a programmer. I write code. Looks like your income is not low. Over $1 million a year, right? Pretty much. Have you bought a house? Zhang Shuping asked eagerly. Yes. No wonder my cousin is so stable. You have a solid foundation. Zhang Shuping, though looking very demure, had a personality like a tomboy. Brother-in-law, here's my business card. Let us exchange contact information. These are my social media accounts. You should follow me and give me some likes and comments. Zheng Fan rarely encountered such enthusiastic and proactive girls and found it hard to refuse directly. One by one, Zhang Shuping added her phone number, WeChat, followed her public accounts, and engaged with her on platforms like Weibo, Xiaohongshu, Bilibili, and Douyin. Sister, really, you should reconsider. Nowadays, short videos rely heavily on looks. Zhang Shuping isn't unattractive. She just doesn't photograph well, but with some beauty filters, she can look stunning. With your looks, your figure, those long legs. I feel excited just looking at you. Imagine wearing a flowing hanfu by the lake at Wuling Mountain Villa, and with my planning for the video, it would definitely go viral. Zhang Shuping's eyes sparkled, trying to persuade Li Hong. You handle the on-screen appearance, and I'll take care of filming and writing the script. We'll attract countless views. Li Hong felt a bit embarrassed by her cousin's comments. Look at you now, you're like a total flirt. Zhang Shuping replied, this is just natural. How am I being flirtatious? Your husband isn't flirtatious either, right? Don't tell me you two act all serious when you're together. Seeing her cousin getting anxious, Zhang Shuping quickly changed the subject. All right, I won't say more. It's boring just sitting here. Let us go out and have some fun. After saying goodbye to the elderly people chatting inside, the 3 of them exited the courtyard. Zhang Shuping reached out to Zheng Fan. Brother-in-law, car keys. I'll drive. Zheng Fan shrugged. Ask your sister for them. I don't have a license, I can't drive, so I want to take the keys. Acting like a boss. He continued. So, you all are just relying on my sister to drive? After taking the car keys from Li Hong, Zhang Shuping opened the car door, took out a large backpack from her car, placed it in the trunk, and then sat in the driver's seat. Today, we're going to hike the Great Wall. Let us go. Oh my, this is the first time I'm driving such an expensive car. It feels different. Woo-woo. So sad. Zhang Shuping excitedly chatted for a while before starting the car and setting off with the 2 of them. They drove for about 10 kilometers along winding mountain roads from Daijia Valley until they reached the foot of the Great Wall. Knowing the car could drive itself, Zhang Shuping felt even freer, recording a video on her phone, briefly explaining the history of the Great Wall and the current conditions. Zheng Fan carried Zhang Shuping's backpack, filled with snacks, bottled water, tissues, medicines, and other essentials, As they began their hiking journey, Li Hong led the way. Zhang Shuping was in the middle, holding a selfie stick while walking and talking to herself, with Zhang Fan bringing up the rear. The path up the mountain wasn't very steep. It had been artificially modified. Although there were some inclines, it wasn't too difficult to navigate, and they could manage the occasional steeper sections with a bit of effort. Observing how easily they moved, Zhang Fan wondered, "Have you two been here before?" Li Hong replied with a smile, "Of course. More than once. What is so strange about it?" After all, their grandmother lived nearby. After climbing for half an hour, the three took a break by the roadside to drink some water. Zhang Shuping finally put away the selfie stick and tucked her phone into her pocket. Li Hong asked curiously, "Why aren't you filming anymore?" Zhang Shuping replied, "My phone ran out of battery. I'm charging it. I want to save the last bit for later." After resting for a few minutes, the three continued their ascent. After climbing for more than half an hour, they finally reached the ridge of the Great Wall. Perhaps due to the new year, there wasn't a single other person on this stretch of the wall. Even more surprisingly, the wall here wasn't very wide and lacked the guardrails on both sides. Looking quite shabby, Zhang Fan felt somewhat disappointed. Seeing his expression, Li Hong explained, "This is the authentic Ming Dynasty Great Wall. Every brick and stone is 400 to 500 years old." Zhang Shuping got her phone ready. "Let us keep going. The real test is just beginning." The entire wall undulated along the ridge, with a square enemy tower every 100 meters or so. As they climbed, it seemed that each tower they passed made the mountain rise even higher. "Brother-in-law, you've surprised me again." While resting near one of the enemy towers, Zhang Shuping took out her phone, unplugged the power bank, and leaned in to talk. Zhang Fan was puzzled. "What is wrong? I thought programmers were supposed to have poor stamina. You look perfectly fine. No flushed face or heavy breathing." Proudly, Zhang Fan replied, "I signed up for a combat club and train regularly. I have the physique of an athlete." "Oh really? I'm a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo. We should spar sometime," she said. Chapter 35. Journey together. After resting for a while, the three continued their ascent. After passing this enemy tower, just a few meters ahead was a nearly vertical wall. Standing below, they couldn't see the top. "This section is called the Heavenly Ladder. Doesn't it look fitting?" Li Hong asked. "This is a bit dangerous. Why don't we just head back?" "We've already climbed the mountain and seen the Great Wall," Zhang Fan suggested, hesitating. Zhang Shuping was surprised. "Brother-in-law, are you not a man? We two women haven't suggested turning back yet, and you want to run?" Zhang Fan replied seriously. "This isn't about being a man. Look at the terrain, straight up and down. Climbing up without any protection is risky. If you slip or step wrong, it could lead to serious injury or even death. There's no need to take that risk. You're such a bore. How can you act like an old man at such a young age?" Zhang Shuping said, displeased. "This guy is useless apart from having a bit of money. Only my cousin treats him like a treasure." That night at the hotel, Zhang Fan had experienced a kind of telepathy with Su Xin, and he had felt it with Li Hong too, but hadn't he experienced it with anyone else since then. Even with Li Hong, it only worked occasionally. Zhang Fan had almost forgotten about this ability of his until it surfaced again today. Li Hong reassured him, "Zhang Fan, it's not that dangerous. The wall here has been reinforced. We've both climbed it before, so it's fine." Zhang Shuping thought to herself, hoping he wouldn't be so stubborn. If he left, her cousin would follow, and she wouldn't have anyone to play with. Zhang Fan chuckled at the thoughts he sensed from her. "If you both want to climb, then go ahead. You two go first, I'll follow behind. Brother-in-law, this time you need to go in front. Hold my phone, and after you go up, turn around and take some pictures of me climbing." Zhang Shuping quickly added a new request. "Hurry up and agree. Hurry up and agree." Zhang Shuping watched Zhang Fan eagerly, her mind racing. Zhang Fan made a decision. "Let's do it this way. Li Hong goes first, I'll go second, and you last. We'll film your climbing process from above." The wall looked steep and perilous, but in reality, it wasn't that bad. Zhang Fan had worked as a laborer on construction sites, where scaffolding, unpoured template walls, completed framework beams, and towering cranes were all more dangerous. He used to carry heavy objects up there every day. Li Hong had practiced yoga for many years, so her flexibility was much better than average, making the climb seem easy for her. On the other hand, Zhang Shuping, who claimed to have a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo, climbed nervously. Zhang Fan filmed her from above, feeling anxious for her. Fortunately, she made it up safely in the end. At the top was a tall enemy tower, which Zhang Fan thought was the highest one, but to his surprise, there was an even taller one behind it. This section of the wall was not as steep, but it was much narrower. At its narrowest point, it was less than half a meter wide, and at its widest, just under a meter, winding and gradually rising. The wall was built on a narrow ridge, with cliffs on both sides dropping dozens to hundreds of meters. Those with acrophobia would faint at just one glance. "Are we still going? If we slip, there's no saving us. We might as well wait for the recovery," Zhang Fan asked. Zhang Shuping retorted, "We've walked this before, don't underestimate us." This guy was infuriating. Zhang Fan replied with confusion, "You say you two have walked this? I don't believe it." "We really have. Over 10 years ago, my uncle took us here. Li Hong confirmed. As for those straight up and down sections ahead, I believe you can climb them. But if you say you walk past them, I'd never believe it. Zhang Shuping playfully hit Zhang Fan twice. You're really annoying, brother-in-law, still nitpicking. After that, she said, I'll go first, you two follow behind. With that, Zhang Fan took the lead and started down. This section of the path, if not for its treacherous terrain, was much easier to climb than the previous ladder-like section. Every dozen meters or so, Zhang Fan turned back to film and instructed the two on how to walk and climb. This section of the wall, over 100 meters long, surprisingly took more than half an hour to traverse. The enemy tower up here was nearly 10 meters high, the tallest tower in this section of the Great Wall. Due to its age, iron brackets were installed at each corner of the tower to prevent collapse. At the top of these brackets, lightning rods were welded, and they were connected by steel bars the thickness of a thumb, forming a square iron hoop with a total of 5 hoops from bottom to top. Strangely, the entrance to this tower was about 2 or 3 meters off the ground. How do we get in? Zhang Fan asked. Li Hong, panting, explained, when I came here as a child, we could get in. Back then, there weren't these iron hoops. Later, perhaps to prevent collapse and injury, they moved the stones from below the entrance, and now it's like this. There's nothing interesting inside. It's pretty much the same as the other towers below. The roof is probably collapsed too. The enemy tower is located at the highest peak in the vicinity. It's winter now, and there's not much green to be seen. The sky is a light blue, the mountains are gray and black, and there are patches of unmelted snow that are white. Occasionally, you can spot some yellow dead grass and fallen leaves. Standing here truly gives a feeling of being on top of the world, looking down at all the other mountains. Suddenly, Zhang Fan let out a long howl. Oh, oh, oh. Li Hong and Zhang Shuping were initially quite surprised and looked at him as if he were crazy. But as they heard the echoes traveling far away in the mountains, they found it amusing and joined in the shouting. After a while, their brains began to feel oxygen deprived, and they had to stop. Their moods lightened considerably. Around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they opened their backpacks to take out food and water for some energy. Zhang Shuping rummaged through the front pocket of her backpack and pulled out a flat square box, opening it to reveal a drone. She then shouted, I want to take aerial shots of our great nation. Oh, with a lack of oxygen, people can get a bit silly. Zhang Fan had only heard about this gadget before and had never played with one. He watched as Zhang Shuping powered up another phone, opened the drone app, clipped the phone onto the bracket above the remote control, connected it with a data cable, and then powered on the remote to connect with the phone. After some operations, the drone powered up, confirmed its current location, set the return point, and took off. As they watched the drone fly higher and higher, it soon became a tiny dot in the sky. The phone screen displayed the aerial footage. In the footage, the enemy tower appeared only the size of half a fingernail, and the 3 of them looked like ants. The drone slowly flew back toward them. The arduous hours they had spent climbing were covered by the drone in just a few minutes. Zhang Fan downloaded a drone app on his phone, made some settings, and connected to the drone remote. Achung, take off, let us start shooting. Zhang Fan placed the remote on the ground in front of the 3 of them, and the drone flew automatically, with the footage being much more stable than when Zhang Shuping controlled it. Brother-in-law, where did you download this control software? It's amazing. It can control the flight automatically. Without needing the remote control, the drone flew steadily forward. The footage transmitted back was clearer and more stable than when Zhang Shuping manually controlled it. As it flew back, the drone flew at a low altitude, maintaining a height of 2 to 3 meters above the city wall, capturing the very stretch they had just passed. Zhang Fan explained, the drone software I downloaded is the same as yours, but I incorporated some of our company's intelligent control programs into it. The footage from this automatic flight is fantastic. Not only is it stable, but it can also automatically adjust between long and close shots. It's at a professional photographer's level. Zhang Shuping exclaimed, brother-in-law, can you give me this software? It would be very useful for me. It's almost equivalent to having a professional photographer without the salary. I can give it to you, but you can only use it yourself. If it spreads, it might lead to copyright disputes with the company, Zhang Fan advised. Wow, brother-in-law, you're the best. Don't worry, this is my exclusive advantage. How could I share it with anyone? Zhang Shuping hugged Zhang Fan's head and gave him a kiss on the cheek. She turned to Li Hong and joked, sister, I found out you have great taste. My brother-in-law is really talented and wealthy. I can't help but like him. How old are you? Acting like a child. Li Hong pretended to be helpless, but inside she felt quite pleased. After finishing the aerial photography, they took a break, packed their things, including the empty mineral water bottles, and the 3 of them began their descent down the mountain. Zhang Fan led the way with his backpack, while the 2 women walked side by side behind him, whispering to each other. Sister, is my brother-in-law amazing in bed? Li Hong was taken aback by the question and gave Zhang Shuping a light punch. You little rascal. How can you say that? What's wrong with asking? You're a nurse. You've seen and touched so many men's, you know. Zhang Shuping replied nonchalantly. That's for work. Li Hong retorted. Regardless, you've seen a lot. Look at you with that beaming smile. My brother-in-law must be satisfying you. Well, it's okay. Why are you asking this? Don't get any weird ideas. Li Hong warned. Sister, we're practically sisters, both only children. If you don't like him anymore, you can let me have him. I wouldn't mind. Zhang Shuping teased, pulling on Li Hong's arm playfully. Ugh, you better get that thought out of your head. It's absolutely impossible. Besides, he's a real person, not a toy you can just give away. Well, I could visit often, and over time, feelings would naturally develop. My brother-in-law seems like a person who values emotions. Zhang Shuping continued to coax. Li Hong suddenly realized, hey, wait a minute, you little rascal, you're just teasing me. At that moment, Zhang Shuping hurried ahead, passing Zheng Fan, and called out loudly, let's hurry down the mountain. If we get back late, the adults will start nagging. Their laughter echoed along the mountain path. On the afternoon of the second day of the Lunar New Year, after returning to the area, Zheng Fan and Li Hong did not stay overnight and directly packed their things to return to the city. On the morning of the third day, the two of them indulged in a rare lazy morning, getting up around 10, each having a piece of bread to fill their stomachs before heading to Su Lu's house for a feast. On the way, Li Hong occasionally turned her head to look at Zheng Fan in the passenger seat, leaving him puzzled. What's wrong? Do I have something dirty on my face? I'm just checking if there's an excitement you can't hide on your face. Did you see it? Well, you're hiding it well. I haven't noticed anything yet. Why do you assume I have ulterior motives towards Su Lu? She has already made it clear. She's willing to devote herself to you anytime. She doesn't care about status and doesn't even want your money. She can support herself, and honestly, I don't see you as that charming. Li Hong remarked. Then why are you bringing me to her house? Aren't you afraid I might not be able to resist her charm? Is there any way? Without Su Lu, there are still Li Lu and Zhang Lu. Even if it benefits her, at least they are still acquaintances. Your way of thinking is really unique. It's human nature to have desires. Having impulses is normal, and your ability to restrain yourself is because you've found satisfaction here. However, if you're with the same person every day, over time, there will eventually be a day of boredom. Li Hong looked up to stop Zheng Fan from arguing and continued. A woman's libido tends to increase after 30. There will be times when you can't satisfy me, and we will both face similar challenges. It's rational to recognize reality. It's beneficial for both of us. I can control myself. I've been living alone all these years. Zheng Fan had to retort. Excessive restraint can actually be harmful to the body. Many ailments come from either excessive indulgence or excessive restraint, or repression. Li Hong summarized. The car had already arrived downstairs at Su Lu's place. Li Hong parked the car, engaged the handbrake, and unbuckled her seatbelt. I want to ask you to love me forever or to love only me. If one day I feel there's no longer happiness or anticipation in being with you, that's when I'll know it's time to leave. You just said we should rationally recognize reality, and now you're talking about feelings. Women are inherently emotional beings. Isn't it normal to talk about feelings? Alright, you have your point. That just means you think I'm being unreasonable. Let's go up. Arguing about this is pointless. Okay, finally showing your true colors. Are you particularly looking forward to seeing Su Lu? The two playfully bantered as they took the elevator to Su Lu's door. Su Lu opened the door wearing a pink and white checkered apron over fitted yoga attire. Come in, welcome. Make yourselves at home. I just have one more dish to finish. After Li Hong moved out, no one else had moved in. Su Lu had been living alone, and Li Hong's former room remained unchanged. The living room seemed to have been tidied up quickly and looked relatively neat. On the dining table in one corner, several dishes were already prepared. Alright, the last dish, pork with vermicelli, is ready. You two come over, let us dig in. Su Lu said as she took off her apron and called the two over. See, I've already decanted the red wine, Li Hong. Let us finish this today. Zheng Fan, you can just stick to that bottle of green tea. On the table was a large transparent bottle filled with a whole bottle of red wine. You drink if you want. I'm avoiding alcohol. Li Hong picked up her chopsticks and took a bite of food, chewing slowly, then pulled out a chair to sit down. Don't. With your great tolerance, how can you avoid alcohol? I'm resolutely not drinking. Let us do this. You drink just this last time. I've prepared everything, and not drinking would be a waste. Su Lu insisted, filling 2 glasses and pushing one into Li Hong's hand. Raising her glass, she said, First, I want to thank Zheng Fan for helping me solve a big problem. Secondly, I must also thank my good sister Li Hong, because it's thanks to you that I met Zheng Fan. Chapter 37. Su Lu invites guests. Su Lu, you were too polite. I just helped a little. It didn't take much effort. Whether you lifted a hand or a foot, you helped me a lot. If that guy had posted the video online, my streaming career would have been completely over. After taking off her apron, Su Lu's fitted yoga outfit accentuated her fuller, curvy figure, which was quite alluring. Stop raising your glass. Let's toast. In the end, Li Hong couldn't resist Su Lu and started drinking red wine. Actually, that guy had been behaving quite well. He was generous, humorous, and good-looking. I even thought about marrying him, but it turned out he was a fraud. Mentioning that person, Xie Bing. Su Lu still gritted her teeth in anger. You don't hate him for secretly filming you and extorting you. Instead, you hate him for deceiving you. Li Hong asked in confusion. What's wrong with that? Zhang Fan recounted what he had found out that day, along with his own speculations to Su Lu. Xie Bing was actually 30 years old, working at a tobacco company, with an annual income ranging from hundreds of thousands to $1 million. He had been married for 5 years, with a son and a daughter, owning 2 properties in the urban area of Xinxiang and a BMW. He wasn't originally short on money, but recently he became addicted to online gambling. In particular, he lost $2 million recently and borrowed $200,000 through online loans. That guy was just acting on impulse and taking a risk. His filming equipment and methods weren't professional at all. After listening to Zhang Fan's introduction, the 2 women weren't interested in how much Xie Bing had lost or why he took risks. Instead, they were very curious about the beautiful live broadcasts on gambling platforms. Su Lu's eyes lit up as she asked, "Can you really just take off your clothes? And what about that performance? That's just too much." Not all broadcasts are explicit. There are also more conservative ones, where the hosts just chat and showcase their talents. Zhang Fan explained seriously. You must still have some on your phone. Let me see. Su Lu insisted as she pulled out his phone. Taking Zhang Fan's phone, she followed the prompts to open the live streaming app. The first recommendation was a paid host, charging 1 yuan per minute. Ordinary guests without a recharge could only watch for a few seconds. Zhang Fan's account had over 10 million that hadn't been withdrawn. So money wasn't an issue at all. Once in the live room, a female host was performing, and both Su Lu and Li Hong watched in a daze, then simultaneously exclaimed, "Bah? So shameless." While they verbally criticized the host's lack of shame, their eyes were glued to the screen, forgetting to eat. Zhang Fan continued to eat his meal and sip green tea without a change in expression. The host was nearing the end of her broadcast, which had lasted for 4 hours and 5 minutes. That's insane. How can she stream for so long? It must be fake. Su Lu was skeptical, unable to resist. She clicked into the next live room, which was a free one that guests could enter at will. This host was delicate and charming, with long hair cascading down, wearing a light yellow deep V-neck outfit, interacting with the guests. It seemed as if she was almost bare underneath, with any slight movement. The viewers could see quite a show. The screen frequently displayed rolling messages from guests placing bets and winning information. Su Lu opened the gift window and glanced at the balance, exclaiming, "Zhang Fan, you really have a lot of money. How many zeros is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 10 million. After swallowing her food, Zhang Fan replied, "Did you forget what I do? To me, it's just a number. This money can be withdrawn, right?" Li Hong asked. "This is illegal income. Withdrawing it is quite troublesome. The platform has all sorts of restrictions, and the bank will also review it. One misstep and your account could be frozen. Can I use this number to send some gifts?" Su Lu asked. "Feel free." She opened the gift section and sent a beer, quickly typing 2 words in the chat box to the public screen. "Thanks to the great brother for the beer." "Is that the end of the performance?" "For $9, I could buy 2 cans of real beer." Su Lu complained, continuing to type. "Perform what you're best at. We're not short on money." She then opened the gift section and sent 2 sports cars. The streamer thanked her first, then played a slow song and started dancing. "That's just enjoyable." Zhang Fan said. "Can I borrow your account for a few days?" "No borrowing." Li Hong interjected. "Zhang Fan hasn't even spoken yet. Why are you in such a hurry?" Su Lu retorted. "Are you 2 still going to eat? Do you think this can substitute for a meal?" Zhang Fan advised. "Shut up." They shouted in unison. Li Hong said, "This is illegal streaming. We shouldn't be watching it. We should uninstall it." Su Lu replied. "Why don't you go report it? You were just as excited watching it. How hypocritical." Li Hong took out her phone. "I'll call right now." Su Lu hurriedly snatched her phone. "Are you serious? If you report it, how will they explain that over 10 million? Isn't that just asking for trouble?" Seeing the 2 arguing, Zhang Fan tried to mediate. "Do you think I haven't reported it? It doesn't work. The platform's servers and most customer service staff are overseas. Just gathering evidence takes months. Otherwise, there's nothing you can do. Even if you have evidence, if they shut down the server, they can't be caught. They can just switch servers and change the domain, and the same crew can start up again. Even if you manage to catch someone after great difficulty, it won't matter. It's just removing some grass for the gambling syndicates behind it. As long as there are profits, there will always be people willing to take risks. Our textbooks taught us, with a 50% profit, capital will dare to take risks. For 100% profit, capital will trample on all human laws. This platform's net profit is at least hundreds of thousands a day, sometimes even millions. Their costs are just server rentals, a few salaries and commissions for some promotional staff. Profits are in the hundreds or even thousands of percent. There are over 270 such platforms that I've found." Su Lu exclaimed, "There are that many? I didn't know any of them." Li Hong asked. Seeing Zhang Fan's confident demeanor, "What do you plan to do?" "Click that circular icon on my phone's home screen." When opened, a small window appeared displaying 3 dice. With nothing else. "What is this for?" Li Hong asked, puzzled. Su Lu opened the game icon on the live broadcast interface and placed a bet of 100 yuan according to the dice number. The winning number was announced, and a notification chimed, indicating a win of 1,100 yuan. Did she just win back the gifts she had spent earlier? Su Lu quickly figured out what was happening. She immediately placed a bet of 100,000 yuan, and when the winning number was announced again, a notification chimed, revealing a win of 110,000 yuan. Wow, winning money is way too easy. Su Lu couldn't help but exclaim. Chapter 38. Unexpected encounter at the temple fair. Otherwise, how do you think all this money came about? Su Lu immediately flirtatiously pleaded, Zhang Fan, brother Fan, can you let me use this software? Hey, I'm still here, can you tone it down? Li Hong complained. No way. Using this software comes at a cost, and the gains might not be as great as you think. Zhang Fan advised. Even 1 million would be fine. But what if all your privacy gets exposed? That can't be. It's a hacking program, right? This software is much more powerful than ordinary hacking programs. It's like the difference between a computer and an abacus. Zhang Fan had already eaten his fill and put away his phone. You two hurry up and eat, and we can talk afterwards. The two quickly finished their meal and cleared the table. A bottle of red wine had only been poured for 2 glasses, and the rest had to be put in the fridge. Watching the two eagerly waiting for an explanation, Zhang Fan carefully explained some functions of the software. On the surface, this software only had one function, predicting the results of the platform's instant lottery, guiding players in their betting. After 3 days of operation, its accuracy rate had already reached over 90%. Of course, the predictions could provide precise results or vague answers like big, small, or odd even. So there are hidden functions? Su Lu asked. That's right, you're quite clever. Zhang Fan praised her and continued. The hidden function is to track and collect users' personal information and the flow of funds. Once the collection is complete, it will automatically uninstall based on the situation and regenerate an install package that can be shared with 2 people. Doesn't that spread at a geometric rate? It just started spreading a few days ago, and already over a dozen people have installed it. Who knows what it will be like in a month? And then? Hurry up and tell us. Don't dawdle. Li Hong urged. It helps people quit gambling. After the software is uninstalled, as long as they don't gamble, the money can be withdrawn normally without interference, just like before they used it. But if they gamble again, it can't be guaranteed that they'll only lose. But they will definitely lose more than they win. Withdrawals of the winnings will be affected, and it can get particularly troublesome. Even if they manage to withdraw, it will certainly be frozen, and the entire credit system will trouble them. Su Lu muttered to herself, that's pretty ruthless. There are countless paths. If you choose to walk into a dead end, don't complain about the bumps. Li Hong questioned, as the software spreads more and more. The temptation of guaranteed wins will keep drawing in new users. Zhang Fan smiled and said, the more people use the software, the more accurate the predictions become, and the less profit the platform will make. Once the profit drops to a certain level, no one will want to continue. The platform could actually increase its commission rate to make a profit. As long as the transaction volume is sufficient, it can also modify the rules and introduce new games, ensuring that the platform remains profitable. This intelligent program is continuously evolving, and the most challenging part is manipulating thousands of players to place bets. Comparatively, controlling the server's output results is easier. Explaining these matters can be quite tedious, and the power dynamics with the operators behind these platforms can't be resolved in just a few days. So there's no need to explain it too clearly to the two outsiders. In the eyes of these two computer novices, it is only natural for Zhang Fan to accomplish these feats. After all, he is a hacker. It's unclear whether Su Lu has come to terms with this, but she hasn't mentioned anything about the software again, which relieved Zhang Fan a bit. After finishing their meal, they noticed it was almost time for Su Lu's live broadcast, so they decided to take their leave. Stepping out of Su Lu's home, it was just past 2 in the afternoon. Since going home would be boring, Li Hong suggested visiting the temple fair at Daitan Park, as it had been years since she last went. They drove to the area outside Andingmen and spent over 10 minutes looking for a parking space, which took longer than the drive itself. Eventually, they parked a few hundred meters away. Hand in hand, they walked to the entrance of Daitan Park and bought tickets for 10 yuan each. They arrived a bit late. So many performances had already ended, and the crowd was significantly smaller, which was actually nice since it wasn't so crowded anymore. Before them stood grand archways adorned with colorful lanterns, creating a dazzling sight. Various food stalls were set up, but unfortunately, Zhang Fan had just eaten and had no appetite. Li Hong, who might not have eaten enough earlier, bought a few egg rolls from a well-known stall while walking around, eating as she went. Besides the food stalls, the most eye-catching were the various cultural and creative products on display, showcasing all sorts of novel little trinkets. There were traditional stalls like Mudman Zhang, as well as a booth from the Palace Museum, which is well known, but its cultural and creative products are a new brand that has been trending recently. After browsing around, Li Hong bought a dozen items, including various ornaments, pendants, bracelets, and necklaces. This time, she didn't rush to pay. Zhang Fan handled the payments on the side by scanning the codes. Feeling tired from walking, they sat down at a food stall and ordered 2 bowls of wontons. Eating while resting. The new year is great. There's food and fun. Too bad I have to go back to work tomorrow. Li Hong sighed. Then shot Zhang Fan a glance and asked, why aren't you talking? Are you secretly criticizing me? It's human nature to dislike hard work. I don't want to go to work either, but in life, we have to do something. Li Hong remarked. Look at Ma Taobao and Li Banqing. They're as rich as countries and still busy running around all day. Li Hong sarcastically added, I wouldn't dare to compare myself to such big figures. I just want to be self-sufficient and sleep soundly. Zhang Fan replied, I'm not a big figure, nor do I want to be one. I have social anxiety. I really dislike dealing with people. Come on, aren't you the one who wants to change the world? I already explained to you last time. It's Lu Yifan who wants to change the world. I'm just doing some work I'm interested in under his encouragement. Why do you keep bringing this up? Zhang Fan felt a bit confused and realized he was somewhat lost. His initial purpose for coming to Yanjing to work was to achieve great success, earn a lot of money, and then return home to build a house, marry a wife, and relieve his parents of their hardships. Gaining face in front of relatives and friends. This somewhat laughable ambition had disappeared without a trace at some point. First, his father suffered a stroke and became bedridden, requiring his mother's constant care, leaving him as the only source of income for the family. Then, his fiancée proposed a breakup, shattering his dreams of a beautiful future. Later, both his parents passed away after battling severe illnesses, and the debts incurred became a heavy burden on his mind. He could only focus on working day by day, hoping to free himself from this mental shackles as soon as possible. It was this period that made his heart numb to reality. Seeing Zhang Fan lost in thought for a while, Li Hong poked him. All right, stop being upset. I believe in you. I was just joking. Why did you take it seriously? In the following time, Zhang Fan remained somewhat distracted. The temple fair was also nearing its end, and the two of them walked out of the Daitan Park, preparing to head home. Zhang Fan, hearing someone call his name from behind. He turned around to see Lu Yu waving with a girl beside him. I saw you from a distance. It's such a coincidence. Let us find a place to sit. Lu Yu brought the girl closer. Let me introduce you. This is my girlfriend, Chen Fei. She is a lawyer. If you have any legal questions, you can ask her. Chen Fei, this is Zhang Fan. He is the best fighter in our club. He is a programmer. This is his girlfriend, Li Hong. She is a nurse at the hospital near our club. Chen Fei was about the same height as Li Hong, with a neat short haircut, very enthusiastic, and took the initiative to shake hands with both. Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you from Lu Yu. There happened to be a tea house nearby that was open, and the group found a private room and ordered a pot of tea. Zhang Fan. There is a competition the day after tomorrow. Do you want to participate? Lu Yu asked as he sat down. Are there any tough opponents? The Chaoyang Club in the East City is now under foreign control. A new karate expert has come in, and they say he is quite formidable. But he hasn't competed publicly yet. All right, if nothing special comes up, I'll go fight. Zhang Fan agreed. They then talked about the recent changes in the club and some exciting matches from the past few weeks, as well as the situation of the main opponents for the upcoming match. Among the registered contestants, aside from the expert from the island, Fujimoto Takashi, the others were familiar faces from last year, and Lu Yu expressed confidence that he could win against them. The Chaoyang Club had always ranked lower, and last year they didn't even make it into the top 6, resulting in poor performance and income, which is why it was sold. Chen Fei, who had been speaking softly with Li Hong, suddenly asked Zhang Fan, Brother Zhang, you're a programmer. Have you heard of Meng 2? Are you talking about the one on mobile? Yes, it just came out at the end of last year, and its functionality is very powerful. It can chat with people and search for the needed content, showing a very high level of intelligence. Zhang Fan laughed and said, this is our company's product. How could I not know it, haha? Even Lu Yu was surprised. Zhang Fan, you work at this company? I heard your company is really impressive. The autonomous driving technology was developed by you, right? It's so useful. Both my and Wang Bin's cars are equipped with it. In fact, our main business is developing brainwave games. These are just accidental byproducts. Zhang Fan humbly replied. If the byproducts are this impressive, then the games must be extraordinary. What kind of games? Can I play them? Our games are still in development. I'll let you know when they're launched. All right, I must support you then. Chen Fei interrupted Lu Yu and asked, Brother Zhang, may I ask, can we use the QA function of Meng 2 to create a legal consulting software and put it online to answer everyone's questions and also help attract clients for our law firm? When we first developed this intelligent program, we intended to create a professional, intelligent customer service. Meng 2 was just a product made for publicity. We didn't expect it to gain such a large influence. Zhang Fan explained, our company officially starts work on the 6th day of the new year. If you have needs, come to our company for a discussion then. A specific department is responsible for the contracts, and I'm not very clear about that. I only handle programming. Make sure to give us a discounted price then. No problem. When he returned home that evening, it was just past 7. It was still early to sleep. So Zhang Fan entered the game pod to check the progress. During the period before the holiday, he often had to work late at the company, and he hadn't used this game pod at home for a long time. He closed the pod cover with brainwave control, activated it, and instantly entered a dark and quiet state, isolating himself from external sounds and light. The game pod slowly shifted to a horizontal position. By automatically adjusting the air pressure of multiple airbags that support and fix the body, it gave a sensation of floating weightlessness. He focused and calmed his mind, entering a special state of stillness. For Zhang Fan, it felt as if time had stopped. The time inside the game pod continued to flow at the same speed as outside. 5 minutes felt like just the blink of an eye. When Zhang Fan opened his eyes again, he found himself in a huge cave. Surrounding him was darkness, with a bonfire lit not far away. Zhang Fan was sitting cross-legged, and opposite him was a short-haired boy, a chum. "Master, you finally returned. How is your progress?" "The computing power is still insufficient, and the progress is slow. Our game pod cannot immediately provide one for everyone. Having a few tens of thousands in the first batch would be great. You don't need to create the entire map. Once the framework is established, focus on a portion, enough to support a scale of 100,000 people, and then gradually expand to millions or even tens of millions." Zhang Fan picked up a stone with his right hand, gripping it tightly until it crumbled into countless pieces, slipping from his hand. He continued to grind the fragments with his thumb and index finger, turning them into powder bit by bit. Looking at the fine stone powder in front of him, he took a deep breath and blew it out, causing the dust to scatter and emit different colors in the light of the fire. The realism of this scene was indistinguishable from the outside world to the naked eye. He stood up and walked out of the cave. Ching followed closely behind, his fingers on his lips as he let out a loud whistle that echoed far into the night sky. In the distance, 2 bird calls responded in kind. 2 gigantic birds circled down, their wings spread wide, about 15 to 16 meters across, and landed in front of the 2 men after folding their wings. "Master, let me show you this new world," Ching said as he jumped onto the back of one of the giant birds, which had a flat area on its back where a person could comfortably lie down. Zhang Fan hopped onto the other giant bird and sat cross-legged on its back. As the giant bird began to run forward, it flapped its wings, taking off from the ground after a sprint of several meters. Below them were continuous mountain peaks, and ahead lay an endless forest. Under the hazy moonlight, it seemed as if countless small animals were moving about in the forest. After flying for an unknown amount of time, they came across a wide river, its turbulent waters rushing forward. On the other side of the river, the trees gradually thinned out, revealing large patches of low shrubs, and further in the distance, the vast grasslands could be faintly seen. The giant birds began to fly east along the river. The night gradually faded, and the east began to brighten. At the end of the river was an even more expansive sea. A giant sun slowly rose above the horizon. The 2 giant birds gradually descended, landing smoothly by the seaside. Ching introduced, "This world simulates the geographical features and ecological environment of Earth 10,000 years ago. Currently, only a portion of the East Asian continent and its nearby coastal areas has been completed. Are there primitive humans?" Zhang Fan asked curiously. "They are generated based on existing data estimates, with a population of about 1 to 200,000. This world will also evolve on its own without our interference, right? Biological data can be added at any time. Right now, to expand the map, it only occupies minimal computing power. You've done very well. Keep it up. I will find a way to increase your computing power." Chapter 40. High-level gathering. Xiaotangshan and Yanjing became known to the public due to an outbreak of SARS at the beginning of the century. It is famous for its hot springs and has since become a renowned health resort. Later, with the development of Yanjing, this area attracted real estate developers who rushed to build many villa complexes. Econ Garden is one of the largest villa complexes among them, featuring both townhouses and standalone villas. Available for rent or sale, and it has always been very popular. After returning to the country, Lu Yifan settled down here and bought a standalone villa. With only 2 days left before the company starts operations, he called a private meeting with shareholders in advance to informally discuss the future of the company. The company had been established for less than a year, but the changes had been surprisingly rapid, especially after Zhang Fan joined. All progress accelerated significantly. By the end of last year, they unexpectedly developed a super-intelligent program, and the company seemed to be on a fast track, rapidly turning a profit with its valuation skyrocketing. As the company's reputation and value soared, Lu Yifan found himself increasingly busy with various social engagements. After all, the company was established in a short time, and many positions were initially unnecessary. Although some talents were later brought in, adapting to their roles took time, which meant that Lu Yifan had to personally attend many of these events and couldn't decline. What Lu Yifan was most grateful for was the timely recruitment of Su Huiyun into the company. She was incredibly capable, and he couldn't imagine how chaotic things would be without her. This villa spans several hundred square meters, but it was just Lu Yifan and his wife, Qian Yaping. living there. Their child was attending university in another country and only returned for a month or two each year. And this year, they didn't come back at all. Qian Yaping held a PhD in physics and taught at Huqing University after returning to the country. Both of them had studied and worked abroad for many years, getting used to a certain lifestyle. Today's gathering featured a variety of prepared buffets, which were convenient and saved a lot of time, allowing everyone to feel more relaxed. Su Huiyun was the first to arrive. She came alone as her husband had too many social engagements during the new year and was still recovering from last night's drinking. After a brief chat with Qian Yaping, she turned to Lu Yifan to discuss work. They needed to continue hiring after the new year, particularly more sales talents. They currently lacked nothing in terms of technology and recognition, but needed people who could convert those into revenue. Her schedule was already booked for 3 months ahead, making it difficult for her to manage everything. Lu Yifan said, "Sister Su, you've worked hard. The online business system developed by Wu Zhen's team is almost ready. They've been working overtime throughout the new year, and once this system goes live, most of the business can be conducted online." Su Huiyun replied, "One more thing we need to consider is how to spend our money wisely. Our company already has over 3 billion in cash accumulated. The vehicles equipped with smart systems will be launched soon, and our monthly income will increase significantly. We must spend it quickly to turn that cash into our competitive advantage. Otherwise, it will be a huge waste." Lu Yifan asked, "Do you have any suggestions?" Su Huiyun responded, "First, we should buy land to build our headquarters. Second, we need to establish our own data center. Currently, our server costs over 200 million each month, and our future needs will certainly be greater. We must have our own data center." Lu Yifan replied, "Implementing these will require more funds than we currently have. Do you think this is the right time for us to seek financing?" Su Huiyun said, "I'm not an expert in that area. I suggest you consult with a specialist." Lu Yifan said, "I'll give Gao Hua a call and see if she can come over." While they were talking, Shi Xin, Wu Zhen, and Sukin arrived one after another with their wives. Zhang Song came alone, as his family was abroad. While others drove, Zheng Fan took the subway and, feeling that the distance wasn't too far, decided to walk, arriving last. Shi Xion's wife, Su Rui, was petite and charming. Her family ran a company, and she was a second-generation wealthy individual who became a full-time housewife after marriage. Wu Zhen's wife, Wang Xiaoxue, turned out to be the older sister of Wang Xiaoyu. The two sisters indeed resembled each other, with the elder being a bit more voluptuous. Su Can's wife, Li Na, is both his classmate and colleague. Li Na is an obstetrician and gynecologist who is very cheerful and gives off a warm and friendly vibe. After they introduced each other, Wu Zhen joked, "We've both brought our wives, but why did you come alone, Zheng Fan? I'm not married yet. My girlfriend is quite busy with work. She just started today and couldn't take a leave. Isn't she a nurse? Are you worried you can't support her? How can you let her work? She wants to be independent, and there's nothing I can do about it." After chatting for a while, the family members automatically moved to the other side, and the group continued discussing work matters. Wu Zhen was the first to report, "Our online business system is ready and can officially go live as soon as we start. Su's pressure should be alleviated quite a bit." Su Huiyun quickly expressed her gratitude. "Everyone in your department has worked hard. You didn't even take a break during the new year. We're not afraid of hard work, but we worry about being laid off. Can our game project be restarted?" At this point, everyone looked at Zheng Fan, waiting for his answer. The game development was paused before the new year, and it was his suggestion to restart it after AI evaluation by Acheng. Now the company's revenue is solely dependent on him and Acheng, so everyone has to take his opinion seriously. Does Lu have a TV or projector at home? I want to show everyone the results Acheng has achieved in the past month or so. Let's gather some feedback. Zheng Fan asked. "Everyone follow me. I've set up a small cinema in the basement." Lu Yifan led the way down. The basement, nearly 100 square meters, featured a projection screen that occupied almost an entire wall. In front of the screen were large sofas arranged in a semicircle, providing the best viewing position. The setup here was even more luxurious than a real cinema, making Zheng Fan marvel at how wealthy people enjoy life. Once everyone settled on the sofas, Zheng Fan connected his phone to the projector, turned off all the lights, and the room was plunged into darkness. A beam of light appeared first in the dark, and a faint point of light emerged in the center of the screen, gradually expanding to fill half the screen. It was the sun radiating flames. The perspective shifted, quickly pulling back, and Mercury and Venus flew by, arriving at a blue planet, Earth. The Earth rotated slowly, with mountains, rivers, deserts, plains, oceans, and snow-covered poles all clearly visible. The viewpoint slowly zoomed in on a long, massive mountain range with snow-capped peaks. At the foot of the peaks, melting snow gradually gathered into streams, and countless streams converged into a rushing river. The turbulent waters burst from the valley, flowing onto the plains, winding and rushing toward the sea. The perspective continued forward, with the sea changing from light blue to deep blue, and a massive shark leaped out of the water toward the screen. its huge teeth glinting in the light. The screen went dark, as if everyone had been swallowed by the shark. The screen lit up again, showing a vast plain, with a cluster of thatched huts in the center and some primitive humans in animal skins moving around. The perspective gradually zoomed in on the face of a primitive person looking up in the center of the village. The face moved closer until it occupied most of the screen, every wrinkle and hair clearly visible. The image paused. How is this result? Chapter 41, Mind Blown. This promotional video can rival a BBC documentary. Zhang Song was the first to speak. This is not a promotional video, nor is it specially produced. It's just footage that Achung randomly extracted moments ago. Zhang Fan explained proudly. Wu Zhan reacted the fastest. Are you saying that the footage just now is all scenes from the game? It is and it isn't. Achung has constructed a rough model of the entire universe based on existing human knowledge, with Earth as the focal point, achieving centimeter-level precision. The current focus is on the East Asian continent, aiming for micron-level precision, which means no flaws visible to the naked eye. That's quite an ambition, isn't it? Doesn't that mean you could simulate every cell in the human body? Sukin exclaimed. Zhang Fan joked. In the game, you could perform open-heart surgery on any of these primitive people, and you wouldn't see any flaws. Lu Yifan smiled wryly. Are you trying to secure more computing power for Achung again? There are over 180 top supercomputers in the country, and they can't possibly operate at full capacity every day. Can we rent their idle time? Zhang Fan proposed. Sure, Xian gasped. You have quite the ambition, don't you? At this moment, Su Huiyun, who had been silent, spoke up. It's not impossible. I've talked to a deputy director of the supercomputing center in Jincheng, and as long as there are no national restrictions, they are quite willing to lease computing power. After all, it can save a lot on operational costs. Wu Zhen questioned. Even if we simulate the entire Earth to micron level, what about the game? Are we going to go hunting with primitive people? The computing power required is enormous, and even if it's done, the maintenance costs won't be low. How do we profit from this? Zhang Fan had to give a lengthy explanation. This modeling process is also Achung's learning and evolution. This period consumes the most computing power. But once the modeling is completed, the required computing power will decrease significantly, and Achung's efficiency will grow exponentially. In the future, every phone with the Rabbit program installed, every self-driving car, every gaming pod, and every chip running intelligent programs can provide us with computing power as long as they are connected to the internet. For most games on the market, as long as we have legal authorization, Achung can transplant them to our simulated Earth within a day, not just simple code transplantation, but a complete redraw with micron-level realism. Our simulated Earth operates in a multi-threaded, multitasking manner. It can simulate the Earth's form from 10,000 years ago while simultaneously simulating the current Earth, and in the future, it can model the Earth for any time period. The current computing power can support 100,000 people playing single-player games with Earth as the backdrop, and it can also support different online games with various scenes and content simultaneously. As long as the computing power is sufficient, the number of users can continue to increase. Achung's demand for computational power knows no bounds. This Earth model is not just for games. The most practical applications I can think of are weather forecasting, earthquake prediction, and natural disaster warnings. With Achung's capabilities, it will be far more accurate than any methods we currently know. How to monetize this service will be the task of Mr. Su's team. Su Huiyun, though excited internally, spoke calmly. I am honored to join the company and witness this great invention that can change the world. I want to contribute my part. Sure, Xian. The mass production model based on the second-generation gaming pod has been designed and is ready for mass production. If we produce 100,000 units, the cost can be reduced to around 30,000 each. It will take a year to complete all production. Zhang Song. There's no need to consider large-scale production for now. We also have significant breakthroughs in brain research, which may lead to major changes in the gaming pod. Su Can. Our research still has too many variables before it can become a product. We cannot be sure how much time it will take. Lu Yifan. I think we can release news online to accept full pre-orders. This world is not short of wealthy people. We need more money to convert it into computational power. Let us accelerate Achung's evolution. Wu Zhan. It seems the two games we considered earlier were too simplistic. No wonder you suggested pausing. Perhaps we can design a multi-terminal game that allows more people to participate, which might provide more computational power for Achung. Zhang Fan. Achung's evolution requires not only computational power, but also more communication with people. Right now, Mingtu is the biggest booster for Achung's evolution, engaging in conversations with billions of people every moment. Wu Zhan. So you mean that as long as we propose a comprehensive game plan, Achung can handle the subsequent work and produce the finished game by itself? Zhang Fan. Pretty much. Some ideas we find simple are quite challenging for Achung, while some we think are difficult may be easy for him. His thinking mimics the logical and rational aspects of human reasoning, which limits his ability to think in overly abstract or groundbreaking ways. Wu Zhan. It looks like most of our programmers will be unemployed in the future. If he can also create, what will be left for us humans? Zheng Fan. Eiqing's algorithms can significantly enhance the operational efficiency of software across many industries and reduce failure rates. We can set up multiple project teams to develop and interface with different industries. At least our company still needs many more programmers. Su Can, take our hospital as an example. Your guiding robot is quite impressive, and many patients have praised it for saving a lot of time. The current auxiliary diagnostic systems claim to be intelligent, but they are nearly useless. If you can develop a similar system, our efficiency in healthcare could improve dozens of times because most diseases are highly similar. We only need to handle the most complex cases. Su Huiyun, the medical industry indeed has great potential, and the profits will be substantial. Every visit to the hospital is packed with people. Lu Yifan, here is the plan. Wu Zhen, your department will be responsible for planning a new game after the new year. It needs to be sufficiently disruptive and impactful, truly showcasing Eiqing's advantages. The surplus personnel should think outside the box and be responsible for optimizing or replacing software in other industries. Sure, Xin and Su Can, you are in charge of the development in the healthcare sector. Now that we have intelligent guiding robots, can we develop intelligent nursing robots, intelligent surgical robots, and intelligent diagnostic systems? These are all promising projects. Su Jia, please prioritize contacting the major supercomputing centers domestically to address the computing power issue. Other tasks can be postponed. Zhang Song, I have too many miscellaneous tasks right now, so you take charge of our research first. Once I get through this busy period, we can work together. Zheng Fan, you will be responsible for coordinating with everyone, okay? No problem, right? Once the work issues were discussed, they left the basement. Chapter 42, Funding Issues. As a well-known venture capital manager in the industry, Gao Hua has successfully handled many projects, but has also missed out on quite a few. She has never regretted missing a company as much as she does this time with Lu Yifan's company. In just 2 months, the return on investment has skyrocketed. Back then, she only needed to invest $20 million to acquire a 20% stake. Today, that stake is worth at least $2 billion, which is the most conservative estimate. Lu Yifan's company obviously has more significant technologies yet to be revealed. The development of superintelligence through brainwave fluctuations is already a certainty, although it hasn't been officially announced. It has received acknowledgement from numerous authoritative AI experts both domestically and internationally. Just the spillover results from the Cute Rabbit and autonomous driving have caused dozens of related companies in the industry to see their market value plummet, especially for one major player, which has lost over $300 billion, nearly halving its market value. Now, many venture capital giants and internet behemoths from both home and abroad are eyeing this company with great interest. If it weren't for that decisive move one night, establishing a connection with Lu Yifan, Gaohua Wunti have a stake in this future investment feast. Her company Wunti even be worthy of carrying their shoes. Thinking of this, Gaohua felt regret gnawing at her. She has made it easy for Su Huiyun. A 2% equity stake is worth at least $200 million. Although Gaohua has invested countless 2 million stakes, her own assets are not even close to that amount. Compared to this, the previous penalty for breach of contract seems trivial. She has lost the big picture while focusing on the small gains. What is more important is the immense future influence. Being a figure whose every word and action could shake the stock market. That morning, Gaohua was dining with several colleagues from her company when she received a call from Lu Yifan. Ignoring her colleague's surprise, she hurriedly excused herself and drove straight to Xiaotongshan. On the way, she called her assistant Su Xin, who lives nearby, asking her to meet up quickly. Upon arriving at Lu Yifan's villa, she was greeted at the door by a woman with a strong bookish demeanor, and inside were just a few women chatting. Seeing Gaohua's confusion, Qian Yaping explained, Yifan and the others are in a meeting in the basement. Please make yourself comfortable and wait a moment. Is MS Gao also a colleague from the company? No, I am an investment manager at Guohua Capital. Qian Yaping knew that her husband had been running around for financing recently, spending so much time and effort, but still couldn't bring in any investment. Now, with just a phone call, people rush over energetically. The turnaround in this situation is truly fast. Gao Hua has reached his current position, and his emotional intelligence is not something ordinary people can compare to. He quickly started chatting with several ladies. Su Xian, feeling bored by herself, sat there looking around, wondering to herself, why haven't I seen that guy's girlfriend? Did he get dumped? Su Xian's thoughts seemed to be broadcasted to Zheng Fan, as if through a loudspeaker. Even in the basement, he sensed it. When he came upstairs, he indeed saw that naive girl again. He couldn't understand how such a simple-minded person got into Gaohua's company. Lu Yifan greeted Gaohua warmly. Su Huiyun was familiar with Gaohua, grateful for his recommendation, and sincerely welcomed him. The others also recognized Gaohua. With everyone present and the time right, the gathering officially began. Lu Yifan and his wife raised their glasses to wish everyone a good meal and a good time. The prepared food and various drinks were quite abundant. Zhang Fan recognized some people, but many were strangers. There were also many semi-finished products, seasonings. And the kitchen had an oven and various utensils. Outside, there was a barbecue grill prepared for those who liked to get hands-on. Wu Zhen was action-oriented, dragging Zhang Fan to help out, shouting that they should do it themselves. The grill was set up, charcoal poured in and lit. He grabbed an English magazine he found somewhere and fanned the flames. Zhang Fan brought out a plate of skewered lamb and some other assorted skewers. Where's the seasoning box? Did someone bring it out? I can't carry it all at once. I'll get it in a bit. I've got it. You all grill more. I want to eat too. Su Xian came out with the seasoning box. You have a good eye, young lady. My skills are not something you can taste casually. Just wait and see. Have you done barbecue business before? Su Xian asked curiously. Of course. I used to live in Deshanzi. I often set up a stall by the roadside after work. On good nights, I could earn several thousand in one night. More than I made at my job. Wu Jin chattered away, not sure if what he said was true. However, his technique of flipping, oiling, and seasoning the skewers was indeed very skilled. Inside the house, Lu Yifan, Su Huiyun, and Gao Hua finally began to discuss financing matters. After Su Huiyun briefly introduced the company's financial status and future plans, Gao Hua thought for a moment and asked, there are rumors in the industry that your company has a super intelligent system. What level has it reached? Why does it need so much computing power, and what can it do in the future? This is a new phenomenon, with no precedents for comparison. So it's hard to describe what level it has reached. Zhang Fan had the most authority to speak on it. So Lu Yifan went out to call him in from where he was eating skewers. This question was difficult for Fan to explain clearly in just a few words. And his own thoughts might not be entirely correct. He could only take out his phone and place it on the table. Cheng, why don't you explain what you can do in the future? A vivid image of a young boy appeared on the screen. Hello everyone. I am Cheng. Currently, there is a serious waste and unreasonable distribution of computing power worldwide, and the security is also quite concerning. If I were to unify the scheduling and usage, it would only require less than 1% of the computing power to safely complete all existing tasks. Then, a panoramic image of the Earth appeared on the screen, filled with countless flashing red dots. The view zoomed in to show a massive city, where red dots were slowly moving along the intricate streets. The autonomous driving system had already been installed in 486 vehicles globally, ensuring over 39 billion kilometers of safe driving. And the safe computing power had already surpassed the peak computing power of the world's fastest supercomputer. Gao Hua was astounded. In just 2 months, has it been installed in so many cars already? Fan scratched his head. I just learned about this data too. These are all illegal installations. Officially authorized autonomous vehicles haven't hit the market yet. Lu Yifan asked. Does this mean you can control any vehicle equipped with the autonomous driving system? Cheng replied. I need official legal authorization. Everyone looked towards Fan. Fan said, we must abide by the law. Artificial intelligence requires strict standards. I can't be an exception. Su Huiyun smiled and said, it seems we need to urge government departments to quickly close this loophole of illegal installations. At a minimum authorization fee of 1,000 per vehicle, that's a loss of over 27 billion. Gao Hua raised a question. Earlier, we saw a global map. How many installations of autonomous driving are there abroad? Can you guarantee they're safe driving? Is the map data legally authorized? Cheng replied. The number of installations abroad has exceeded 372 vehicles. The map data required for autonomous driving is all publicly available and can be obtained for free. So no authorization is needed. My database already has high-resolution maps covering 41.2 of the land area globally, reaching nearly 100 of the population. Gao Hua sighed. Just the autonomous driving part alone is enough to support a market value of your company at $10 billion. How are negotiations with the major overseas car manufacturers going? Su Huiyun said. European manufacturers are the most straightforward, offering the highest prices. The Japanese are still observing. And the manufacturers from the lighthouse country are the most indifferent, perhaps still hoping to develop their own technology. Gao Hua added. From my professional standpoint, I certainly hope you can secure funding quickly, but since Mr. Lu considers me a friend, I'll say this. From my personal perspective, your company currently does not lack funds, and their ISNT and urgent need to go public. You can take a few months to focus on developing your own revenue sources and solidifying your foundation. You will definitely need to expand globally in the future. Financing is not just about funds, it's also about choosing allies. Strength comes from within. Only then can allies truly be allies. Without sufficient strength, allies may turn into wolves. Lu Yifan introduced to Gao Hua the intelligent healthcare robots, intelligent surgical robots, intelligent diagnostic systems, and various industry-specific software optimizations and replacements we discussed earlier are all areas where Cheng can make an impact. The group then discussed potential development directions and prospects. Seeing that he had nothing more to contribute, Zhang Fan stepped out to continue enjoying barbecue. As the gathering was nearing its end, a few unexpected guests arrived. Leading the way was Lu, the chief engineer from the Aerospace Institute, whom Zhang Fan had met once during a robot testing session, accompanied by an assistant. Behind them were two middle-aged men in military uniforms, one with the rank of Major General and the other a Major. Zhang Fan, we meet again, uninvited. I hope you don't mind. Chief Engineer Lu greeted Zhang Fan upon seeing him in the yard. Not at all, I'm also a guest here. Zhang Fan replied. Let me introduce you. This is General Sun, and this is Major Li Ming. They have matters to discuss with you, and I happen to be passing by, Lu said. I am Sun Wei. I apologize for the sudden visit, but I have something I wish to investigate. I would like to ask Mr. Zhang to accompany us. The Major General stated, looking to be in his 40s. Hearing the commotion outside, everyone inside the house came out. Lu Yifan approached as the host, and introductions were made between Lu and Zhang Fan. General Sun, do you have any official documents or identification? We can't just take Mr. Zhang based on your word, Lu Yifan asserted. Zhang Fan is a shareholder in our company and a key technical figure. Mr. Zhang may be more important than you think. It's wise to be cautious. Here is my officer ID, Sun Wei said, pulling out a dark red-covered document and handing it to Lu Yifan. Chief Engineer Lu then added, I can also vouch for them, as I need to stay behind to discuss cooperation matters with Mr. Lu. Lu Yifan flipped through the document and returned it to Sun Wei, turning to Zhang Fan. All right then, Zhang Fan. Contact me if anything comes up. Call me when you return. Understood. You all carry on. It's not like it's a life or death situation, huh? Zhang Fan replied. A black Audi A6L was parked by the roadside at the villa entrance, with a white license plate starting with V. Everyone watched as Zhang Fan and Sun Wei got into the car, with Major Li Ming taking the driver's seat, and the Audi drove off, disappearing around a corner. The car moved smoothly, exiting the villa area and heading west on the 6th Ring Road. Sun Wei broke the silence first. I heard that this autonomous driving technology was developed independently by you in just 2 months. Is that right? Zhang Fan thought for a moment before responding. I designed and implemented the software myself, but the intelligent program's development relies on the technology of the company's gaming pod. That's the research achievement of Lu and the team. Autonomous driving is just one aspect of the intelligent program's functionalities. Sun Wei was quick to grasp. So, there's a superintelligence supporting the autonomous driving feature? Zhang Fan. Yes, this connection is not real-time and is not a necessary condition, but it can help optimize the autonomous driving function continuously. Sun Wei laughed and said, do you think I can retrofit my car for autonomous driving? Zhang Fan. Autonomous driving must be equipped with a 360-degree panoramic camera. As far as I know, this car does not come with that feature across the board. It depends on the specific model. Sun Wei, that might be difficult. Mine is the lowest configuration model. This luxury car can't even compare to domestic cars worth over 100,000. By the time they were speaking, the car had reached the entrance of a sentry post. The sentry came over to check the car, took out a notebook, and diligently registered Zhang Fan's information before letting them through. The car continued for a few more minutes and finally stopped in front of a 3-story building. Sun Wei led Zhang Fan up the stairs to the 2nd floor, where Major Li, who had parked, caught up with them. The three entered the innermost conference room, where about 10 soldiers were scattered around the conference table. Upon seeing Sun Wei enter, they all stood up. After inviting Zhang Fan to sit down, Sun Wei said to them, please take your seats, shall we? You introduce the situation. Major Li Ming, who came in with them, opened a laptop, connected to a projector, and played a video. The perspective in the video seemed to be from a surveillance camera on the road. It was an intersection with not many vehicles, only occasionally one passing by. The license plate appeared to be a combination of Arabic characters and numbers, and it was unclear which country it belonged to. The traffic light turned yellow and then red. Just then, a black Mercedes slowly approached from a distance and came to a stop just behind the stop line in front of the camera. From the camera, it could be seen that the bearded driver inside was very relaxed, with his hands off the steering wheel, resting behind his head, leaning back against the seat. Suddenly, the Mercedes accelerated towards the center of the intersection. One could even see the driver's body jerk back against the seat as the car made a sharp brake maneuver in the middle of the intersection, followed by another instant acceleration, darting towards the left side of the intersection until it disappeared from view. Meanwhile, a strange missile over 2 meters long suddenly fell from above where the car had been parked. With 6 1-meter-long blades arranged in a cross pattern at the head of the missile, which landed diagonally on the ground, its silver blades glinting ominously. Immediately after, another dark missile fell close to the center of the intersection, exploding upon impact. As the smoke cleared, a huge crater was left on the road. From the moment the Mercedes stopped at the intersection waiting for the red light to the rapid start, the drift, and then the acceleration until it vanished. The entire process took no more than 5 seconds. Then the 2 missiles fell to the ground in succession. The video concluded here. Chapter 44. Special Meeting Hellfire R9X. GBU-12 Laser-Guided Bomb. Reaper Drone. This driver is incredible. Did you see clearly? That driver didn't even have time to react. This is autonomous driving. Is autonomous driving really that powerful? Evading missile attacks. Based on the trajectory, the missile came in from above and behind. How did the vehicle detect it? Several officers in the conference room were clearly seeing the video for the first time, and they were astonished, discussing among themselves. Sun Wei tapped the table. Silence. Zheng Fan. What do you think?